Hello again, investigators, and welcome back to the archives. I am the archivist, and I have pledged my existence to the impossible task of understanding the eldritch horrors which plague your world and countless worlds beyond. Last time I reached out to my fellow researchers, we studied the case of the encroaching dread and the curse that befell a band of investigators, forcing them to run for their lives through the harsh and unforgiving streets of Innsmouth. Mercifully, as we discovered, these people survived, although they are hardly the first outsiders to be persecuted or attacked in the sinister Massachusetts town. Indeed, the last time I visited Innsmouth, I discovered their tourist centre was merely 4 walls and a roof, encompassing a very deep pit with spikes at the bottom. A rather less abstract example of the people of Innsmouth's hostility can be found in the well-known Mansions of Madness scenario Escape from Innsmouth, which I've no doubt many of you have studied. For those of you who haven't, it tells the tale of a band of outsiders who journeyed to Innsmouth to research the mysterious and unnaturally fish-like Marsh family, but soon found a far more pressing objective: to flee for their lives from a mob of murderous locals. During their frantic escape, they encountered FBI agent Craven, who'd come to Innsmouth for similar reasons. Together, they contacted Craven's colleague and arranged an extraction by boat. Everyone survived, and the evidence gathered brought the Marsh family to justice, along with countless of Innsmouth's other monstrous citizens. And they all, so they say, lived happily ever after. A charming work of fiction, to be certain. Just the thing to put a child to sleep, or to camouflage other sinister Innsmouth dealings. In reality, I'm sorry to say, reality is often far more dire. This scenario is based off real events. A band of outsiders did indeed journey to Innsmouth to research the Marsh family. They were pursued by a mob, assisted by FBI agent Craven, and hailed a boat to escape on. There, I'm afraid, the similarities end. The boat, Craven's colleague, and the docks themselves were engulfed in fire as the mob destroyed them just to keep their outsiders from escaping. Then, the outsiders were dragged through town to fates unknown. Until tonight. Let us meet tonight's band of investigators who will help us crack this mystery. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing this evening?
I'm doing awesome. Ready to have fun. Hopefully
Well,
I can go.
good luck with that. Would you all like to introduce yourselves from left to right and the investigators you will be playing this evening? Which one of you will be playing Mr. Yorick?
That's me.
Lord Fafnir.
Indeed.
Well then. And Ms.
Okay.
Goldberg.
Hi, my name is Tomer. I will be playing Gloria Goldberg, and my whole life I had visions until I confirmed they were actually premonitions, and that will help me to kill cultists, basically.
Very practical use of mental hysteria, I suppose. Mr. Drake.
Hi, I'm Zach Walk, and I'm playing Mr. Drake, and I found out that magic is real, and there are secrets that
Of course.
man explores. So I'm going to make the bad guys disappear, hopefully.
Wonderful. I see our investigator for Mr. Diamond has rudely failed us, so he shall be controlled by Mr. Pete's investigator. Let's say Dendron.
Yes, I'm Ashkan Pete, and also Dime.
Wonderful. Well then, without further ado, let us begin. Each investigator begins the game with 1 clue, as well as their items, which you have already distributed. Mere hours ago, the Innsmouth mob pursued you relentlessly through the streets of the bleak, ghoulish Massachusetts town. They burned their own docks without a second thought when they discovered your attempts to flee by boat, and upon finding you, the deranged, glass-eyed locals beat you within an inch of your life and dragged you to the heart of the town. Up ahead, you see a grim, mausoleum-like building with a brass plaque identifying it as the Innsmouth courthouse. The locals drag you inside through the damp, rotting halls and towards a cell block. Place the dungeon hall as indicated. So you'll place that there, I think. There we are. Before any of you are shoved into the cells, one of the locals leading the mob announces, "Put 3 of them away. We'll put 2 of them on trial for now. Don't want it to be over too quickly." He grins, bearing a row of shark-like teeth. It sounds as though this trial will be far from conventional. The 2 investigators who feel the most confident in enduring it could easily nominate themselves by making a show of resisting their captors. The others are thrown into the cells, the doors for which lock behind them with a foreboding thud. Place 1 investigator in each cell. So you must now nominate the 2 investigators to be taken to be put on trial, remember. You may wish to discuss this.
Who's got the best influence? I got a 4.
Do you think that's going to be an
Influence.
influence trial or trial by battle?
So Gloria has 4, Dexter Drake as well, and yeah.
I don't know.
I go. I go.
So maybe Gloria and Dexter.
Yeah, let's put both magicians into the trial. They deserve it.
There you go.
I see you've nominated yours. Very well then. There is an explore token on each door. The 2 investigators who are being put on trial are dragged through the building, not to a courtroom, but to a large, partially flooded courtyard in the centre of the building, which they are shoved into before the door is locked behind them. Now placing the marshland, the scarecrow, and the old well. Now let's see. The old well goes here. The marshland there. And the scarecrow there. Place investigators being put on trial as indicated. Investigators on trial cannot become lost in time and space as a result of damage or horror, nor can investigators lost in time and space emerge in the courtyard. Yes, you are well and truly sealed off, Miss Goldberg and Mr. Drake. Standing on the rooftop of the building around you, the Innsmouth mob gathers, cheering for your brutal death. Nearby, a scarecrow hangs limply on a rotten wooden frame. You can't tell if the face carved into the rancid pumpkin head is fearful or threatening. After spending the entire night running for your life, the stony wall of the well seems like the most comfortable service you've ever seen. There's an interact token there. And with that, the investigation has begun. How would you like to proceed?
By screaming, "Help!"
I'm afraid there's no action for that, although I will make a note that you've done so.
Dexter, darling, do you want to go to search while I go and take a peek?
Okay, I'll go search.
Very well. Searching the scarecrow. The mangled and rotting scarecrow has been impaled by something sharp. It's either a threat or the result of some mindless savagery. As an action, you are investigating. You pull the blade from the scarecrow's chest, gain the hedge shears common item. There you are. Hopefully it will harm your enemies more than it did the straw dummy. Remove this search token. Fun. Mr. Drake, this is yours. You have one movement action remaining, Mr. Drake. Mr. Drake? There you are. Now, who would like to go next?
Thank you. Thank you for your company, Dexter. Gloria will go here and look at the old well.
Very well. Once per turn, an investigator may spend an action to rest on the side of the well and either discard one horror, discard one damage, or become focused.
So it's a resting well. Okay.
I assume you'd like to become focused, as that is your only option.
Yeah, I know. So there's nothing to interact with besides that, huh?
Not anymore.
At the moment.
Or yet.
Okay. I'll become focused.
Very well. There you are. Congratulations. Investigators in the cell. How would you like to proceed?
I would like to check the door.
Very well. And who is that, please?
That's Yorick.
Yorick. The lock is sturdy but not very intricate. It should not be difficult to pick. We are picking the lock as an action. Luckily, the mob didn't take your possessions. You use your lockpick to carefully manipulate the tumblers. Please make an observation roll.
Oh.
Would you care to spend a clue?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think I will, just to get out of here.
Very well. 2. With a click, the lock comes undone. Remove this explore token. The investigator in the cell may move one space into the hall.
I'm going into the hall.
The door to your right leads to the front of the courthouse from which you were dragged. Another door leads around the rear of the building. A small barred window overlooks the courtyard. Through it, the other investigators can be seen looking back anxiously. This wall does not impede range.
Oh, okay.
Your second action, please, Mr. Yorick.
Learning from previous experience, getting through the easiest exit is never an option. So I'm going here and explore this inside of the building.
Very well.
I'll leave the other fellows to deal with themselves.
Yes, I'm sure they'll manage. The doorway leads deeper into the courthouse. A long corridor runs around the corner of the building. Place the Hall 1 and Hallway 5 tiles. Hallway 5. There we are. Let's see, that one goes thusly. And this one like this. Marvellous. A chair in the corner of the hall could provide shelter if an investigator needed to hide from the locals. Based on the faint sound of snarling coming from beneath the floorboards, you can tell you're above the underground chambers in which the locals keep their monsters. There's another door at the end of the hallway. You may move one space into the explored area.
I will do so.
Marvellous. Next, investigator, please.
Excuse me, is that the door here?
I beg your pardon?
Is that the door?
You're quite right. There is not a door there. In fact, those are two featureless walls. Save for the rather attractive painting, of course. Yes, you have not found your allies' salvation just yet. Right, Mr. Diamond and Ashcan Pete. Dendron, both of these are your characters.
Okay, Pete is gonna.
Hello?
Right in the corner.
Dendron, are you still with us?
Floor.
Hello, Dendron.
I think we
Hello?
have been cursed by the
Okay.
I
sound.
believe we're having some
Yes.
communication difficulties. I assume you would
I'm
like
sorry.
to...
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
Yes, I want to. Okay. Yeah, I want to explore the door.
Wonderful.
This one.
The lock is sturdy but not very intricate. As before, an observation roll, please. Ashcan Pete.
Give me one.
Ashcan Pete, an observation roll, please.
Yes. I'm trying.
Oh dear.
Wait.
4
Dendron,
for
please
observation.
roll
I can't.
4 dice.
Yes, I'm trying to, but I can't stop my cursor.
Very
Okay.
unfortunate.
Mm.
You have
Four.
one additional dice you may roll. One additional
Doesn't
dice
work.
you may roll.
Okay, now finally.
Very well, I'll allow it. With a click, the
Yeah, I
lock
rolled
comes
4 again. I'm sorry.
undone. Remove this explore token. You may move Ashcan Pete 1 space into the hall. Your second action,
Interacting
please.
with sight is a free action, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I assume they would like to do so. The barred window adjoins the courtyard to the prison cells. An investigator in the dungeon hallway is within range.
Sight token.
There is nothing to do with this sight token. It simply informs you are within range of the courtyard. Very well. A door leads to the front of the courthouse. A plain hallway connects the dungeon to the lobby. Place the hall corner tile.
Okay.
There we are. Perfect. A handful of trinkets have been abandoned on an end table. A large armchair and end table are collectively large enough to hide behind. A single investigator may hide here during the mythos phase. This door is ajar and the musky smell of old books wafts from the other side. This is the door from which you were dragged to the cells. You may move 1 space into the explored area. There we are. Given Mr. Dendron's communication difficulties, perhaps Zach Walk would like to take over for Joe Diamond.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'll look at this thing here. The door there.
Door, I assume, yes. As before, an observation roll, please.
Okay, let's see here. Looks
Oh dear. Your
0.
hands are still shaking from the trauma you've suffered. The lockpick slips ineffectively from to the dungeon floor. I assume you'd like to try again.
Yeah.
Another observation roll then, please. 23. A 1. Unfortunately, still not quite enough. An underwhelming turn from Mr. Diamond there, which takes us swiftly along to our first mythos phase. It feels like you've been awake and fighting for your life for days. Your stress is matched only by your fear. No immediate effect. In the unexplored halls of the courthouse, you hear the ominous thud of patrolling footsteps. Of the rabid mob surrounding the courthouse from the rooftops, one is clearly in a position of authority. An enormous man holds everyone's attention. He wears a long trench coat and a crown fashioned from twisted bones, like a deranged interpretation of a judge's uniform. You assume his role is similarly morbid. You stand accused of trespassing upon Innsmouth and disgracing the gods, the judge bellows, his voice effortlessly piercing the roar of the mob. The fates, as governed by Lord Cthulhu, hold you at their mercy. Your innocence will be determined by your survival. Opposite the courtyard, 2 sets of stairs lead down to a dank, sinister dungeon. One of the doors swings open and a withered, skeletal monstrosity is shoved out by 2 of the locals. Place a skeleton as indicated. A second skeleton is forced out of the other door, which we shall mark red. The red skeleton moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. There are no investigators in that space. The second skeleton does much the same. I suppose this one can move this way. And now a horror check, please. Who is this? Ms. Goldberg and Mr. Drake. Light gleams off the bleached bones, leaving the dark, empty spaces in the skull stark in contrast. Each of you suffers 2 horror. Will negates. Where Goldberg, of course, has 4
3.
rolled.
I have 1 more.
Both rolled perfect rolls. Oh, not quite.
Almost!
But you both passed the check nonetheless, which leads us to our second investigator phase.
Okay. Dexter?
Correct.
I'm pretty scared. Dexter, I'm pretty scared, but are we up for the fight?
Yeah, we gotta
I'm
get rid of it.
not sure the locals intend to give you much of an option.
Do you want us to attack the same one first? Shall we?
Yeah, I'll start
Maybe
off.
we can start with the red one. What do you say, Dexter?
Well, it seems Mr. Drake has taken the initiative. Or not.
Okay, I'll have the initiative and I will start attacking the red skeleton.
Very well.
Okay.
Gloria Goldberg, unarmed, attacks the red skeleton. You aim high, kick at the creature's chest. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Marvelous.
Ha!
The creature's chest explodes in a cloud of dust. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result. Just to say 2 damage. And it lives.
Dexter,
Mr.
save
Drake,
today.
with a bladed weapon, no less. Let's see, I assume you would like to use your bladed weapon, Mr. Drake.
Yes, I would.
Well then,
Yeah.
flipping your weapon to strike with its handle seems more effective, but the maneuver is risky. Mr. Drake, an agility roll, 2 is a success. Oh dear. You fumble the blade and it bites into your hand. Suffer 1 face down damage. Just put that there for you. The diamond's health and sanity have not been set. Yeah.
Poor Drake.
And that concludes our valiant team of warriors. Who would like to go next, please?
Can you quickly remind me, what's that question mark? That was the sounds from
The
under the
ominous
floor, right?
snarling makes you nervous to
Yeah.
traverse the corridor, but perhaps by listening closely you could learn what's in store for your friends in the courtyard.
Well, I will go towards the sound.
Yes?
I'm gonna ignore the sound actually for a moment. I'm going to follow to that doorway there.
Bold. Very well. Mr. Drake and Mr. Ashcan. I beg your pardon, Mr. Diamond and Mr. Ashcan.
Okay, Mr. Diamond's trying to get out the door here.
Oh, once again, an observation roll, please. I would recommend spending your clue token. Wonderful. With a click, the lock comes undone. Remove this explore token. The investigator in the cell may move 1 space into the hall.
Freedom!
Wonderful. Your second action, please, Mr. Diamond. Just the 1 space. Very well. And a second space then. Mr. Pete, are you still with us? Ashcan Pete. Ashcan, I can see your name lighting up in the chat. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you. Perhaps you could simply type what you wish to do within the simulation, of course. Very well. An assortment of items have been discarded on this end table. There's a slim chance of finding something useful. You find a half-full cigarette case. You hope it does more for your luck than it would for your health. Gain the lucky cigarette case common item. There we are.
Smoking on the job.
I beg your pardon?
I don't think it's quite correct to smoke on the job, but well.
Yes, well, these are
It's
unusual
not now, it
circumstances.
was then.
Your second action, please, Ashcan Pete.
Yes. I'm gonna explore the door on the field I'm standing on.
Towards the library, I assume.
Uh,
The door leads to one of Innsmouth's smaller libraries, but surely still a source of dark and dangerous secrets. Compared to most of Innsmouth's libraries, this one has relatively few tomes on dark magic and ancient monstrosities. Most of the books here relate to town history, genealogy, and past court cases. Place the library tile. Unfortunately, there are quite a few of those. This is a game for scholars, of course. There we are. There are countless records of previous trials. It would take far more time than you have to read them all. Down the shelves are a collection of ancient books, which may be less relevant to your current predicament, but doubtless hold dark and powerful secrets. Many of Innsmouth's locals are monstrous semi-aquatic mutants, but the individual in the chair, mercifully asleep, is a veritable troll. Place a child of Dagon in the library. It does not activate yet, as it is asleep. An investigator who concludes an action in the library, including ending a movement action, must pass an agility test of 2 to avoid waking the monster up. Just visible poking out of one of the creature's pockets is a gleaming brass key. An investigator in the Child of Dagon's space may attempt to take it. The courthouse entrance is beyond this door. You may move 1 space into the explored area. Very well, and as you are ending an action, please make an agility roll to avoid awakening the Child of Dagon. Oh dear. With a spluttering snarl, the creature wakes and in the same breath lunges at you. The Child of Dagon drags all investigators in the library back to the cells. Anyone in the hall, corner, and dungeon hall who is not hiding is also captured. Joe Diamond is, of course, hiding as he is on an interact space. Cam Pete, on the other hand, is flung back into a cell.
Oh, good.
Captured investigators are thrown into the first open cell and suffer 2 damage. Strength negates. A strength roll, please, Mr. Pete. That is 1 face-up strength, unless you spend your clue token or your one moment, or unless you use your lucky cigarette case, of course. Very well, you use your lucky cigarette case. It means you suffer no damage. The cell is locked behind you, but having studied the lock, it is unlikely to slow down further future escapes. The Child
Am I
of
going
Dagon
to be
returns.
caught?
I beg your pardon?
Is Georg going to be caught as well?
No, Mr. Diamond is hiding as he is on an interact token. The Child of Dagon returns to the library and within a moment
Just
goes back
cigarette
to
case?
sleep. I believe that is everyone, is it not?
Yep.
Yes. Well then. The investigator in an indoor space with the lowest observation feels overwhelmed with fear. So let's see. We have an observation of 3, observation of 4, and another observation of 4. So Mr. Diamond suffers 1 face down horror. Will negates. Simon has a will of 3, of course, and negated successfully. In the unexplored halls of the courthouse, you can hear the ominous thud of patrolling footsteps. The red skeleton attacks the investigator in its space with the lowest agility. So let's see.
Gloria has agility of 3.
Unfortunately, a tie, which means we must consult the cards. Gloria and Mr. Drake, please select a card. Whoever draws the ace will be attacked. Oh dear.
Ooh, that's Gloria.
Ms. Goldberg, then. The skeleton catches you in a cold grip, and you are forced to stare into its cavernous eye sockets while it tears into your soft flesh. Suffer 2 damage and 1 horror. Strength negates. Oh dear.
Oh, I'm doomed.
Oh dear, that is a very undesirable result. Unfortunately, that is 2 face-up damage and 1 face-up horror. A minor injury. Painful clarity, which gains you 1 clue. Which is fortunate. And a minor shock. Certainly not the worst possible outcome.
For you.
For you, I meant. I certainly have no stake in this either way. I simply want to know what happened. The other investigator attacks. Oh dear. Attacks the investigator who has suffered the most damage. Gloria, it seems you're being picked on. The skeleton
Yay.
claws at your flesh. Oh, well. The skeleton claws at your flesh with fingers as sharp as flint. Flip 2 damage face up. And, as I'm sure you remember, you have a minor injury and painful clarity, gaining you a 3rd clue. And now, of course, a horror check. When the creature gazes upon you, a strange hunger grows in your heart. Both of you, a lore check, please. 1 is a success. And Mr. Drake, a lore test, please. Mr. Drake. The Gloria has passed. Oh, that's unfortunately a failure unless you spend a clue token. I see you are doing so. You pass. There is no mention. Ah, there we are. You pass, you fight off the corrupting influence. And with that, it is the investigator phase once more. Who would like to go first, please?
Sir, would you like to go first this time?
Yeah, I'll attack this thing. Attacking the skeleton.
Very well. Dexter Drake versus the skeleton with the hedge shears, I assume.
Yes.
Resorting to an old trick, you trace an intricate design in the air with the point of your blade. An influence roll, Mr. Drake. 2 is a success. Mr. Drake, of course, has an influence of
1
4,
more.
so you may roll 1 more dice. Oh dear, unfortunately that is a failure. No help from the hedge shears there. So, the creature continues to advance on you despite your creativity. Your second action, please, Mr. Drake.
I can't attack again, can I?
You may attack again, yes.
Okay, I'll attack again.
Very well then. With a bladed weapon, your blade seems ineffective against the tough body of the creature. A lore check, please. 2 is a success. That's 3 dice. 2 more dice, please. I've rolled 1 success so far. And that is a success. You realise that while the blade may not be devastating to the creature, you can focus the areas you have already hit for more effect. The monster suffers 2 damage and dies.
Yay!
Well done, Drake.
Indeed.
High 5.
Yes. Who would like to go next? Perhaps Miss Goldberg.
Gloria will go and fight the uncolored skeleton.
Very well. An unarmed attack against a skeletal monstrosity. Yes. As the creature disturbing visage looms near, you strike out with your bare hands. An observation roll, please, Miss Goldberg. 2 is a success. Certainly a failure to
I'll
someone
use a
without
clue.
quite so many clue tokens. Your punch crushes the creature's failed defenses. The monster suffers 2 damage.
1 movement left, but I will stay there.
Very well. I see. Valdez has to briefly leave the chat. I'm not entirely certain who that is. Hello, Valdez. Are you with us? I believe that's this person here. Perhaps I shouldn't be typing their Discord name in the chat. Who would like to go next, please?
Yeah, Joe Diamond will go. Joe, explore here.
Very well. The door leads to the lobby, and so far as you know, the only way out of the courthouse. The large lobby was packed with angry locals when you were dragged through, but now they have all moved to the roof to watch the trial. Now facing the lobby. Just to say this one. Use back momentarily. There we are. And of course, removing all explore tokens. You freeze before you pass through the doorway as you hear a sound you're far too familiar with by now. Still having trouble with communications. In the meantime, a wheezing, gurgling, breathing. One of the locals is patrolling the halls lest you escape. Around their neck they wear a whistle. You've no hope of fighting them, for if you see them, the entire mob could be upon you in seconds. If an investigator is ever within range of the guard will see them, and I must report this to the app. If an investigator is already hiding in the Deep One's room, they may attempt to sneak out. Do you remember that for later? I will read that again for clarity. If anyone is ever within range of the patrolling local, you will find them and report their findings to the mob. An investigator hiding, as Joe Diamond is, may attempt to sneak out of the Deep One's room.
So is he patrolling?
So it would seem. An oil painting on the wall depicts a gruesome scene. If a local traversed this room, I beg your pardon, if a local traversed this room quickly enough, they might not notice someone hiding underneath this table. The doors at the top of the stairs wind upwards to the building's rooftops. They do not lead into the courtyard. This door leads further around the building. You may move 1 space into the explored area, although I would not recommend it.
This way.
Would you care to move another space or just there? Very well. Who would like to go next, please? Notice we are still having some communication difficulties. Perhaps someone could simply type in the tabletop simulation to let me know what they would do.
Ashton Pitt said he will go next.
Very well, Mr. Pete, please move your character or indicate whatever means of communication you find most palatable. Very well, you've moved 2 spaces for 1 action. Your second action, please. Well, there we have it. And finally, Mr. Yorick.
Yes, I'm back here. I would like to open the door, or at least see what's going on.
The door leads deeper into the courtyard. You enter a large storage room. Containers and shelves surround you, far too many to search before your friends die. Place the general... Pardon? The general shop. There we have it. And of course remove this.
What kind of prison is that?
It's not a prison, this is a courthouse, remember.
Oh, right.
Several brightly
With a
coloured formulas in
souvenir
jars can be found on this shelf. The vast majority of the produce stored in the back room is rotten. Barely a handful of edible food can be found. If an investigator was desperate for nourishment, they might choose to treat themselves to some only slightly mouldy vegetables.
Oh, any bacon?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, wow.
Not a great deal of livestock in this miserable town. A man
Might be a bit
stands
fishy.
behind the counter, examining a wall safe and muttering frantically to himself. Placing a person token here. Despite his clear anxiety and discomfort, you assume he is a local because of his raincoat and fisherman's hat. The counter is large enough that 2 investigators could hide beneath it to escape detection once the man at the safe has been distracted. This door leads to the side of the courthouse opposite the cells. You may move 1 space into the explored area.
I cannot distract him from where I am, right? I need to be with the same space.
No, and this one, unlike the other guard, has no such condition in which you cannot enter range. He is distracted with the safe for now.
He is distracted. Okay, so I'll go in.
Yes, there's not so much you could hide immediately behind him.
Yeah. Actually, can I sneak to here?
You could move freely. This is not the
So
patrol.
he doesn't care.
This is
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll just go here.
very well. And with that, it is the Mythos phase once more. A bolt of lightning ignites the sky above the courthouse. All investigators become dazed. Just what these are doing here. There you are. I'll put these in front of you. Everyone is now dazed, I'm afraid. The guard dutifully continues their patrol. Move the Deep One hybrid as indicated. No investigators have been discovered. The skeleton moves towards the nearest investigator, which is to say Ms. Goldberg, and attacks. Locked in close combat, you're unable to avoid the skeleton's clawing fingers. Miss Goldberg, a strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
Strength, you said?
Strength roll, correct. Not your forte, I'm afraid.
I will use my focused.
You use your focus very well to make that a success. The wounds are mere scratches. And now a horror check, which unfortunately now includes Mr. Diamond. As mentioned before, this wall does not impede range. The skeleton can watch you no matter where you turn, as its head can rotate fully around its bony neck. Suffer 2 horror. Will +1 negates. Alright, that is 1 horror for Ms. Goldberg. And 1 horror for Mr. Drake as well.
Face up or face down?
Face up. His hysteria to say you're flipping 1 damage face up. And a minor shock. Mr. Diamond is also within range now that he is in the dungeon hall. Zach Walk, if you could please roll a will check +1 for Mr. Diamond. And 1 additional dice, of course. I'm afraid that is 1 face-up horror for Mr. Diamond as well. Panic. Suffer 1 additional face-down damage, I'm afraid. Here you are. And with that, it is the investigator phase once more. Investigators, who would like to go first, please?
Gloria will attack the skeleton.
Very well, an unarmed attack against a skeleton. As the creature's disturbing visage looms near, you strike out with your bare hands. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Marvelous.
Nice.
Your punches crush the creature's failed defenses. The monster suffers 2 damage and it dies.
Yeah.
Your second action, please, Ms. Goldberg.
I will. Where's the focus? I will use my holy water, so I will discard 1 horror and become focused.
Very well. If everyone could please try to update their sanity and horror sliders and keep track of when people are on the verge of death. And who would like to go next, please?
I would like to open the door.
Very well. Courthouse winds around the other side of the courtyard. You enter a large, lavishly decorated, albeit damp and rotten lounge. Placing the lounge tile. It just seems somewhat missized. Oh well. In the corner of the room, a dark energy catches your attention. You can feel it seeping from the carpet and the furniture, as if you sense a powerful aura left by some ominous visitor. A fire axe is mounted to the wall. Placing the axe here. The bar is ill-stocked, and more importantly, it's the only furniture in the room which could effectively hide someone from any angle. This is the door through which your friends were ushered into the courtyard. Through the barred window at the top, you can see your friends fighting for their life. Place a sight token. An investigator in this space is within range of the courtyard. You're close to returning to the front of the courthouse. Place an explore token here. And, of course, a door. You may move 1 space into the explored area. Your second action, please, Mr. Yorick.
I hear someone are shouting for help, so I go for the axe.
Wise, you may not take it this turn, I'm afraid.
All right. Well, in that case, actually. On the other hand, I do have a weapon. Let's maybe go here and see what kind of a horrible aura that is later.
Very well. Mr. Diamond and Ashcan Pete. Mr. Diamond and Ashcan Pete.
Alrighty, let's see here. Mr. Diamond says,
Hello?
Mr. Diamond is going to be moving here.
Very well, please move, Mr. Diamond. And your second action, please.
I'll move to
Um,
here.
would you like to stop there? Seems likely that Ashcan Pete will be searching that token.
You better keep going.
Well, there you have it. I believe Mr. Drake is also, yes, to go.
Okay, Mr. Drake will go. Let's see here.
Remember, you can rest at the well.
Yeah, I'll go to the well.
Very well, where you may discard either a damage or a horror, or regain the focused ability.
Let's see here, what am I best at here? Started.
Very well, resting your weary bones. And now Mr. Pete. Mr. Pete, please. There you are. The ominous snarling makes you nervous to traverse the corridor, but perhaps by listening closely you could learn what's in store for your friends in the courtyard. It's impossible to tell how many beasts lurk in the chambers beneath you, or even how many different kinds, but you're sure your colleagues will die before they can slay them all. Suffer one horror will negates. Marvellous. And you gain one clue. There you are. And we remove this search token. Your second action, please, Ashcan Pete. Very well. And with that, the mythos phase rears its ugly head once more.
Who is? Who
The
is?
investigator in an indoor space with the lowest law jumps as the lights go out around them. Let's see, we have a law of 3, another law of 3, and a third law of 3, which means, once again, we consult the cards. I shall simply draw them. We draw one card, I think. Number 3, which is to say the furthest to the right. Ashcan Pete. They jump as the lights go out to them, and we place darkness in each space of their room. The local, that's the safe, we assume, is just so occupied they don't notice. They look around in alarm, hoping that the phenomenon's proximity to them was a coincidence. The guard dutifully continues their patrol. The crowd shouts abuse at the investigators on trial, unhappy with how they survived this first challenge. The judge bellows over the crowd. Lord Cthulhu desires your deaths be slow. Take them back to the cells and bring out the others. From the dungeons beneath the courthouse, a local approaches to carry out the judge's order. Since the locals don't wish you to die by their own hand, you're certain you could refuse to leave, and indeed must if your colleagues have escaped the cell, and their deception is to go unnoticed. If there are investigators in the cells, then an equal number of investigators in the courtyard may exchange with them. An investigator in Dungeon Hall may move into a cell now. Obviously, this is not an option at this moment, however, something you may wish to consider moving forwards. To your surprise, the next foes the mob has for you to face are other outsiders. Their faces are ungroomed, their eyes are bloodshot, their clothes are shabby and damp. You don't know how long they've been here or what the locals did to them, but you almost feel lucky having been sentenced to death instead. Place a cultist as indicated. And place a hired gun as indicated. The hired gun moves 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible, which it already is, and attacks the investigator within range with the highest influence, which is to say it is a tie. Which means we must once again refer to the cards. Very well, Mr. Drake and Ms. Goldberg, please draw a card each. And it is Ms. Goldberg who gets attacked once more. Your foe approaches empty-handed. An observation roll, please, Ms. Goldberg. 2 is a success.
By me.
Wonderful. You see the hired gun is reaching for a holster in time to dive for cover. The cultist moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Oh dear. And attacks. The cultist weeps and approaches, begging your forgiveness and displaying empty hands. An observation roll once more, Ms. Goldberg. 2 is a success. Oh my. You fail. The cultist leaps forwards when you approach, planting a fist into your jaw. Suffer 2 face down damage and become stunned. Of course, investigators are no longer dazed. Here you are, Ms. Goldberg.
Thank you. Well, no, thank you.
Now, a horror check against the cultist. The cultist calls out to the stars, begging for your demise. Ms. Goldberg and Mr. Drake, an observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Very well. And Mr. Drake. Wonderful. You pass, you realize you are in no danger. You each may discard 1 horror. I say you may, I assume you would like to. There you go.
Yep.
One of you has asked in the chat whether or not we have seen the judge. The judge is standing on the rooftop. He is not currently on the board. And with that, it is the investigator phase.
Gloria is stunned, so I can only attack once. I guess
Correct.
I can push my luck. So
Right.
Gloria will attack the cultist.
Very well, an unarmed attack against the cultist. As your foe lunges towards you, you kick at its legs, hoping to knock it to the ground before its attack connects. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Oh dear.
Oh my.
You fail. The kick comes too slowly, and it is all you can do to throw yourself out of the way. Who would like to go next, please?
I would like to investigate that dark aura in this corner.
Very well, the dark aura. You feel dark energy coalescing in this corner of the room. An investigator may attempt to make sense of the dark energy and perhaps even wield it. The power hangs in the air like static electricity, and like electricity, you will get hurt if you don't channel it correctly. A lore roll, please.
Okay, let's see that.
Not Mr. Yorick's forte, I'm afraid. 1. The energy swirls around you, and you grow close to harnessing it.
Predictable. I think Mr. Yorick is going to give up on that. And he's going to go here. I cannot go into the yard, right?
I'm afraid not.
That's just the window.
Merely look through the window in dismay.
Yeah. I wave to them happily and try to open the exploration door here, if possible, and have a look what's on the other side.
Very well. Who would like to go next, please?
Joe Diamond will go here. Got this search thing.
Very well. Many liquids have an unnatural glow. If you intend to drink anything, you'd best choose something you can confidently identify. You select a bottle of something you believe will be useful. Gain the mental stimulant common item. There we are. That was for Mr. Diamond, I believe. Which you may consume as an action to improve your lore. Mr. Diamond, you have 1 movement space remaining should you wish to use it.
There.
Very well. Who's next, please?
Let's see here. Mr. Drake's gonna go 1.
I'm afraid this dotted line here indicates an impassable border. This water is impassable.
Okay, you go 1, 2. And for his first move. For his second move, he'll go here.
Very well. Who would like to go next, please? Or is that everyone?
I can go next. I can go next.
Very well. Would you like to
Go ahead.
do anything?
Yes, sorry. I'm gonna go here and investigate this.
Very well. A few vegetables are just about in edible condition. An injured investigator in need of nourishment could force themselves to endure a mouthful or 2. I notice you are not injured. You may attempt to eat the vegetables if you wish.
No, I don't think I should.
Very well.
Can I still move? Do I still have an action left?
You do have a remaining action, yes.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go here too.
Very well. And with that, it is the mythos phase. Gloria Goldberg trips on some misplaced furniture. Gloria, a strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
Why is it always Gloria?
Yeah, she certainly seems to be getting the short end of the stick,
Because
as it
it's
were.
glorious.
You fail, your body hits the floor painfully, suffer 2 face-down damage, and become restrained. It will be wise to attempt to exchange Gloria with another investigator when possible. The guard dutifully continues their patrol. The cultist attacks the investigator in its face with the most items, which is in fact not Gloria. So, Mr. Drake, the cultist swings a staff trying to dislodge one of your items. An agility roll, please. 1 is a success. Excellent. You twist your body just in time, suffering 1 face down damage. I'll get that for you. There you are. The hired gun moves up to 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible. Yes, he may actually be within range of more investigators if he moves here. He is now within range of everyone, except, of course, for Mr. Diamond. And then attacks the person in range with the lowest observation. So, who other than Mr. Diamond?
Gloria has 4.
Lowest. That would be Mr. Drake. Your foe lets out a terrifying yell and unleashes a barrage of gunfire. Another agility roll, please, Mr. Jake. This time, 3 is a success.
3?
Yes, you will need a perfect roll, I'm afraid. Oh, very
Almost.
close, but not close enough, unfortunately. You fail. A bullet strikes your shoulder, sending you sprawling to the ground. Suffer 2 face down damage and become stunned. You have it. And now, everyone except Mr. Drake must pass a horror check against, let's say, the hired gun. Beneath the common features of your foe, you briefly glimpse an insatiable demon of greed. Suffer 2 face-up horror. Will +1 negates. Everyone except Mr. Diamond, please roll will +1. This Goldberg has passed. Ashcan Pete endures. As has Mr. Yorick. I'm afraid Mr. Drake, however, has failed, meaning they suffer 1 face-up horror. Just draw that for you. There you are. You are aware of the void, which means you become lost in time and space. However, as we previously established, that is not possible, so you simply discard the card. Certainly worked out well for you. And with that, it is the investigator phase once more.
I would like to open the door.
Very well. Having walked the length of the courtyard, you know the corridors will soon lead you back to the lobby. A plain hall winds around the corner of the building. Place the hall tile. Yes. Fortunately, there are quite a few tiles with the word hall in their name.
Choose one.
I shall choose the correct one, thank you very much. There we are. And 2 walls. At the end of the hall is a massive, sturdy vault door. You're placing the vault. Several important-looking papers lie on the desk. The hall leads only to the vault. Perhaps by studying the muddy footprints you could learn something about the person who holds the key. The hollow clanging of something repeatedly hitting metal comes from the other side of the vault door. You may move one space into the explored area.
And I will go here to have a look on the papers later.
Very well. Next investigator, please.
I'm gonna get my dog to get me the axe.
One moment, please. At the start of your turn, you may perform a trade action as if you are in any space within range. Yes, that is indeed allowed. You gain the axe. Perhaps you'd also
And
like
next,
to use... no, that's going to be used at the start of your turn. Yes, you may also trade with the investigators in the courtyard, should you so choose.
Okay, didn't know that.
Seeing this
I
dog
can't
possibly
do it
leap
anymore.
through iron bars.
We need weapons.
Yes, your colleagues in the courtyard are a mite underpowered.
I can't do that anymore, right?
You
Because
can
I
exchange
already...
items with investigators in the courtyard since you are within
Oh,
range.
okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna give the gun then to who needs it most?
She does.
Yes, their agility is the same, but his Goldberg is in rather worse shape.
Thank you for the gun.
So should I give it to Goldberg? Okay.
Very well.
Next, I'll go and see what is. I go here, and that's it.
Very well. Let's see, that leaves Mr. Diamond and those on trial.
This is 9 will go 1. There. And then you'll go. There.
Very well. And investigators in the courtyard.
Can you remind us how many wounds or damage did we
as
do
of yet,
to the cultist?
neither of your fellow outsiders have suffered any damage.
Okay. Gloria can only do one action, so she will attack with the firearm. Well, the hired gun. Nah, the cultist.
Attacking the cultist with a firearm.
Actually, what? Okay.
You level your weapon, warning your foe to back down. It pays you no heed and moves to attack, forcing you to open fire. And will roll, please, 2 is a success. Oh my.
That's a no-no.
You fail. Your shots serve as a warning, but inflict no damage.
Can I attack the hired gun?
You cannot, as you are, or rather were. Oh no, I beg your pardon. You are restrained. You are not stunned. So yes, you may attack the hired gun.
So I will attack the hired gun with my firearm.
Very well. You clasp your weapon tightly with both hands and ready yourself for the kick of the recoil. Slowly, purposefully, you squeeze the trigger. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. That is better. The shot catches the figure in the arm and it screams in pain and rage. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage.
2.
I'm afraid the hired gun lives. Now, Mr. Drake.
I'm going to attack the cultists.
Attacking the cultist with a bladed weapon, I assume.
Yes.
With a flourish, you lure your foe off balance. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Oh, not quite, I'm afraid. You do not pass. The cultist suffers no damage. Unfortunately, that is your only action for this turn. I believe that is everyone, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. So, Mythos phase. This Mythos event affects all investigators sharing a space with other investigators. Just to say, Mr. Drake and Ms. Goldberg. The investigators look away from their colleague for several seconds, and when they look back, they jump reflexively, fearing a local has found them. Each investigator suffers face-down damage equal to the number of investigators on their space, including themselves. Oh dear. It seems Ms. Goldberg has found
no
herself
roll check?
wounded. No negation, I'm afraid.
Ooh.
Yes, Ms. Goldberg has become wounded. Yes, investigators, perhaps you'd get to get another investigator to the cells ready for when it's time to exchange.
Yes, please.
Damage, right?
So we need to be in the cells to swap with them.
Yeah, and Mr. Drake is not looking so good either. Yes, last time you were offered the option, the investigators could have exchanged with anyone in the cells or in the dungeon hall.
Wow.
The guard dutifully continues their patrol. And
Totally ignoring the fact there's nobody in the cells.
Yes. The cultist attacks the investigator in their space with the highest strength, which is Mr. Drake. The cultist swings a staff at your ankles. The ground rushes up at you and you're knocked off your feet. Suffer 2 damage, Mr. Drake. Agility negates. You have negated successfully. Congratulations. The hired gun moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator and attacks once again at the investigator with the highest strength. With a roar, the lout bull rushes you. A strength roll, please, Mr. Drake. 2 is a success. Oh my. You fail. You brace yourself, but the raw strength of your attacker sends both of you tumbling backwards. Suffer 2 face-up damage. I'm afraid both of these will have to state discard immediately, otherwise you will become wounded. Yeah, allow me. You know what? Oh dear. Minor injury, and flip 1 other damage face up, which I'm afraid will not save you, but we will do that first. A back spasm, which means you drop your shears, and as if that weren't bad enough, you are now wounded. And now a horror check against the cultist. You notice the cultist's skin ripple and churn caused by some worm-like creatures flowing through him. Suffer 1 horror, please. Will negates. it's only rolling one dice. That is already negated for both investigators. And with that, it is the investigator phase again.
So shall we keep fighting?
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't many options over here. So Gloria will shoot with a firearm the hired gun.
Very well. Seeing movement in the corner of your eye, you spin, draw, shoot from the hip. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Marvelous. You pass. You catch an opponent sneaking up on you. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage and dies.
That's 2. Yeah. Take that.
Indeed.
And as my second action, I will, keep shooting. The gun is still hot, so I'll keep shooting the cultists now.
Very well. You take careful aim and squeeze off a single shot. An observation roll, please, Miss Goldberg. 2 is a success.
I will use a clue.
Very well. You pass. The shot bursts through your foe. Blood and lead exiting the other side. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result for a total of 4.
That's 4.
And it is dead.
Take that.
Beg your pardon, did you spend a clue token just now?
Yes, I did.
Your .25 automatic allows you to convert an investigation to a success.
Oh, right.
I
So
will
I
allow
get
you
the
to.
clue back.
Oh, I
Thank
just
you.
forgot something.
Expires.
My special skill. Whenever a monster is defeated, gain 1 clue. Does it need to be defeated by me or anyone?
No, anyone.
Which
Yes.
means I should have 4 clues now.
Yes, you are indeed entitled to 4 clues.
Haha. Good. Keep shooting.
I'm afraid you are fresh out of monsters.
Well, they will send some more, I'm sure.
Who would like to go next, please?
I would like to check the papers on that desk,
Very well.
please.
It seems likely the documents on the desk could shed some light on the contents of the vault, and maybe the plans the locals have for you. We are investigating as an action. The papers are of frustratingly little help. There's little in the way of hard data. Instead, you find what look like pages ripped from ancient bestiaries. The text on them is like nothing you've ever seen, but the illustrations depict some twisted abomination, like human designed by someone with a sick sense of humor. Remove this search token and gain 1 clue.
Okay. Can I have a look on the door to the vault then?
The sound of something repeatedly hitting metal is coming from the other side of this door. The sturdy bronze lock is impossible to pick.
So we do need a key for it. And that's probably that guy or the Dagon child have it.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to open the door.
There is that as well, yes. That's always a question. But
Oh,
there's a door and there's a lock on it. Do I still have on movement?
You have 1 action remaining.
Okay, I will then go to here.
Marvelous. Who would like to go next, please?
Me. I'm gonna search this.
Very well. It's evident which footprints belong to the holder of the vault key. Very few other muddy footprints lead this way. The footprints are massive. More than that, in places they've dented the floor where the wood is still perfectly sturdy. Either the monstrous person slumbering in the library is the key holder, or there is more than one person in Innsmouth so massive. For your own sanity, you have to believe it's the former. Remove this search token and gain 1 clue.
So would that be the child of Dagon?
Would seem that way.
Yes, indeed.
An investigator who is brave enough may search the slumbering child of Dagon for the key.
I'll go and do that. I will tickle him.
How very
on my
bold.
time.
I'm gonna go here too. So
You may.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Diamond and Mr. Drake.
How many places does the guard move each time? 2?
Well, it has varied, it seems.
Careful, Diamond.
I'm looking at this thing.
Very well. You feel dark energy coalescing in this corner of the room. You may attempt to make sense of it and perhaps even wield it. As before, a law roll, please.
Three. Okay.
One. Your heart races anxiously as you harness the dark energy, gain the shriveling spell. There you are. In which, you've taken all of the implant suggestions as well. One of those. And remove this search token. You don't want to imagine who could have left such a powerful impression on the room, but you hope they are not in the building anymore. Your second action, please, Mr. Diamond. There is not a door here, I should remind you.
Over here. This way. Okay, I'll check the other door.
Which way, please?
Maybe you should go... Diamond, maybe you should go downwards since the guard is coming from the top.
Okay, I'll go down here.
Yeah, but through the door.
You may go here.
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay.
And Mr. Drake.
Drake's going to pick up his shears.
Fair enough. And would he like to use his second action?
I don't have one, right? Because I'm wounded.
No, the wounded only prohibits you from moving twice. You may still perform a single move action.
You can give me an action.
Yeah, I'll do that.
With your implant suggestion. Will
Yeah,
that allow me to move?
Very well. Casting implant suggestion on Gloria Goldberg. Yes. Gloria, please perform any one action.
I guess I will move towards the well.
Very well. And Mr. Drake, please flip your implant suggestion card. The words hiss through your lips in one rapid breath. A law roll, please.
Or 5. Easy peasy, Drake.
Oh, not quite. You
No.
fail. The spell seems to steal your breath away, and you clutch your pounding skull. Suffer one face-up horror. And of course, in a new implant suggestion spell. A minor
shock.
There you are.
I bet the archivist is not happy.
Oh, I have no stake in these outcomes. I simply wish to know what happened. Perhaps you've mistaken me for the host.
Oh.
Very well, and with that, I believe everyone is complete.
Indeed.
Dexter Drake feels crushed by their hopelessness and dread. They suffer 2 face-down horror. Observation negates.
Sorry, who suffers that?
Dexter Drake.
Drake?
Come on, Mrs. Drake.
I'm afraid that is one face down horror. Is your second, of course. The guard dutifully continues their patrol.
Ooh, I'm glad you got out of there, Joe.
One of the screaming spectators, displeased by your continued survival, throws a bottle at you. Not only does it miss, it still has some of its original content inside. A painstakingly
Yikes.
whiskey common item, thusly. Again, the locals approach the investigators on trial, intent on returning them to the cells. Investigators may submit if there are investigators in the cells to replace them, which, unfortunately, there are not. The doors to the subterranean dungeon creak open once again, and another outsider is ushered through, although this one is as foreign to you as they are to the people of Innsmouth, spawning a child of the goat.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The child of the goat moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Which suppose could be either one of you. Let us consult the cards on the outcome here. Both of you, please.
I'll let Drake draw first.
Very well. Well, unfortunately, your ploy to manipulate the fates has failed, Miss Goldberg. The monster attacks. Your foe swings a staff at your ankles. The ground rushes up at you as you're knocked off your feet. Suffer 2 damage. Agility negates. Well negated. And now a horror check. Your foe calls out to the stars, begging for your demise. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Goat Child is behaving rather like a cultist, I notice. Observation roll, please, Mr. Drake.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Oh dear. Ms. Goldberg, you realise the words are hollow. You may discard 1 horror, which you of course do not have. Mr. Drake fails. The starlight seems to fade. They suffer 1 horror. Face up.
You should definitely get the whiskey. I can keep
Indeed.
distracted the child of the ghost.
Mediocrity. You may not improve any skills. And with that, it is the investigator phase once more.
Dexter, would you like to move to get the whiskey so you can discard horror?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Very well.
You need
Marvelous
some
teamwork.
booze. And meanwhile, I was distracting the child of the goat with my guns. Bang,
That is
bang.
certainly a effective distraction. You aim for your foe's center of mass. Please make an agility roll +1. That is
I will.
2. Do you remember the gun allows you to make that
yeah.
a 3?
No, it's N, so it's only 1 clue.
Yes.
Actually, I
Unless
will.
you choose to spend a clue token.
Should I? Yeah, I will spend a clue, hoping that it will affect the damage.
It does indeed. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result for a total of 4. which I'm sorry to say
Yes.
is not enough.
Well, I still have some more bullets, so bang bang.
You do. Bang, bang, indeed. You clasp the weapon tightly with both hands and ready yourself for the kick of the recoil. You slowly, purposefully squeeze the trigger. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. And with the ability of your gun, that is, of course, a success. The shot catches the figure in the arm and it screams in pain and rage. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, bringing it up to 6 damage total. It lives.
Wow.
Oh darn.
I'm afraid. So those of
If
you...
that's the child of the goat, imagine his father.
Yes, well, I imagine it would simply be a goat.
Yep.
Probably something you could handle. Now, those of you outside the courtyard.
Yeah. I'm just going to go straight up to here.
Very well. There is another door down here, of course.
Oh, right. 1, 2. This is one big one, right?
Correct.
The bottom is one big arena.
That is
Okay.
one action. Do remember that if you end an action in the library, you will have to avoid awakening the child of Dagon.
Yeah, I want to actually just go there and grab his stuff. But I think I'm just going to spend my action just sitting here and waiting for the next round when I can go in and get out.
Passing your remaining action, of course, since you are on a
Yeah.
space with an interact token, you may hide. If
I
needed.
hide under the table.
Yes,
Bravely.
indeed. Mr. Diamond and Mr. Pete.
I'm gonna go here, use my movement and search this.
Very well.
Horrific painting.
Bloody violence depicted in the painting makes you wonder what kind of person could have painted it. The person in the painting is fighting for their life in the courtyard. There's no plaque to offer more detail on the specific trial depicted. You suspect killing outsiders isn't noteworthy enough for the people of Innsmouth to commemorate one specific instance. Suffer one face-down horror, gain 2 clues, and remove this search token.
Let's hope the plaque won't say Gloria and Dexter.
Indeed. So there's a hovering clue token here, but you gain 2 clues.
Okay, then I'll use my remaining one move because I just stopped it
Of course.
and go here.
Very well, you are here. However, I should mention you are not hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr.
Maybe you should go.
Diamond.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Mr. Diamond.
Okay, Mr. Diamond says, I'll go 1, 2 for my first action. And second action, I'm going to sneak by him because I think I'm agile. And
Ending
go
your
for
turn there. In that case, please make an agility roll to avoid awakening the child of Dagon.
No problem. I got 5 dice. I can do it.
Bold. Oh my. I'm afraid nothing to alleviate your dire circumstances. With a spluttering snarl, the creature wakes and in the same breath lunges at you. The child of Dagon drags you from the library back to the cells and finds no one along the way. Captured investigators are thrown into the first open cell and suffer 2 damage. Strength negates.
Okay.
Ah, and strength negated. The cell is locked behind you, but having studied the lock, it is unlikely to slow down future escapes. The Child of Dagon returns to the library and within moments goes back to sleep. I believe that's everyone.
I think so, yeah.
It is the Mythos phase again. Your senses are bombarded by an explosion of thunder as lightning lights the sky again. I'm afraid once again all investigators have become dazed.
Oh lord.
Dazed for everyone. The guard continues their patrol, discovering no investigators. The Child of the Goat moves towards the nearest investigator and attacks. Miss Goldberg, your foe holds a knobby club high, threatening you with it. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Excellent. You notice the blade in the other hand and turn it back on your attacker. The monster suffers 1 damage, taking it up to 7 damage total. Unfortunately, the creature lives. And now a horror check. Your foe steps from the shadows, revealing dark sockets where you would expect to see eyes. A grey worm emerges from one and slithers back into the other. Suffer 1 horror. Will negates.
Yikes.
Success. And Mr. Drake, a will roll, please. Wonderful. Yes, what's so alarming about a worm coming out of someone's eye socket after all? Investigators, your turn.
Shall I go and tickle the Child of the Gun?
Softly, yeah.
Not exactly what I would do, but you may try, certainly.
I will go there.
Very well, and as your movement turn is not yet done, you do not need to roll to awaken it. The creature's snores are like the snarls of a prowling creature. You fight every instinct approaching the beastly person. An investigator who's brave enough could attempt to lift the key from its pocket, which I assume you would like to do.
Indeed, please.
You quietly gag on the beast's rancid aroma and flinch at every snore, fearing they'll awaken. You may make either an agility roll or an observation roll.
I will take observation then.
A wise choice.
Oh, bugger.
And, of course, you are dazed, oh dear.
Yep.
Unfortunate timing. A 0. As before, the creature awakens with a spluttering snarl. With the same breath, lunges at you. You get the idea. Please roll strength to negate 2 damage.
Yep. And strength is...
Successfully negated.
Of course.
You're really selecting carefully when to get the successful rolls, aren't you? The Child of Dagon goes back to sleep. Mr. Yorick, you have 1 movement space remaining. Mr. Yorick?
Yes? Sorry?
You have 1 movement space remaining should you wish to use it.
Well, yeah, but on the door closed.
No, you may open it again.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a free action now. Yes, please. I will absolutely move out. Yes.
Well then, Mr. Pete
and I'll be cheering my friends in the courtyard. They do an amazing job keeping them busy.
Well, I see
Going
Mr.
in.
Pete is moving into the library.
And
As before, an agility or observation roll, please.
I take agility. Doesn't really matter, but I'll take agility.
And I'll be sure to add that to my notes in case it becomes relevant. Oh, dear.
That could have gone better.
Nothing to add to that. 1. The creature snarls and lurches towards you. You recoil in fear. The beast's eyes flicker open for a split second, but, mercifully, they recline in their chair again and go back to sleep. You do not need to roll to avoid waking the Child of Dagon for this action. Would you like to use your remaining movement action, Mr. Pete?
Yes, no, I stay here.
Very well then, please roll agility to avoid awakening the Child of Dagon. Oh dear. I'm afraid, as before, this is a failure. You are flung into the cells and, one moment please. And yes, unfortunately, Mr. Yorick is also returned to the cells, and both of you must now roll strength. That is negated for Mr. Yorick. And Pete, you may use your lucky cigarette case. You may not use a clue since you are dazed.
Yes, sorry. I take the cases.
Very well. No one is now dazed as the turn has come to an end. What a unfortunate turn, really. However, on the plus side, you may now exchange if you manage to kill the Child of the Goat this turn. If their previous turns are anything to go by. Investigators on trial.
Come again, sorry?
Ms. Goldberg and Mr. Drake, your turn.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'll shoot the Child of the Goat with my firearm.
Very well. The gun roars and shakes in your hand. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success.
Oh, and by the way, I gain a clue because of my ability.
You do? Ah.
Okay, so I will, because of the firearm, I will change 1, and then I will spend a clue, change the other one.
Very well. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage and dies.
Yes.
Your second action, please.
I will move towards the well. Hopefully I will be able to use it afterwards.
Very well. And finally, Mr. Drake.
What can I do here?
I see. Very well. Will that be all, Mr. Drake?
Yeah, right here.
Will there be anything else?
And that's it for Drake.
Very well. With that, Mythos phase. The investigator in an indoor space with the lowest observation jumps in response to a noise behind them. Let's see, who did we determine earlier as the lowest observation of these three? Mr. Diamond, I'm afraid. They jump and knock over an oil lantern, placing fire in their space and one adjacent space. Oh dear.
Thanks.
Great, thank you very much.
Dread to imagine what could be so flammable within your prison cell.
Why was the fire placed in my space?
I beg your pardon,
Yeah,
Mr. Diamond. The
Joe
guard
Diamond is on fire.
continues their patrol. The locals approach the investigators on trial again. They throw at them a handful of dirty bandages. One of the investigators on trial receives the bandage's common item. Patch yourself
Hey, look,
up,
you got the
one of them
presents.
orders. It's no fun if you die too quickly.
Maybe Dexter should get them since his health is one less.
That certainly makes sense. Very well. The locals attempt to take you back to the cells. An investigator in the dungeon hall may move into the cell. You may now exchange your investigators if you wish.
Are you brave enough over there?
I think I could go, because I'm not
Yeah.
that bad at fighting.
Very well.
Is
The
that
investigators are dragged back to the cells via the lounge, lobby, and hall corner tiles. Any unhidden investigators en route are captured and returned to the cells. An equal number of investigators who leave the courtyard must be taken back. One item or spell may be traded between exchanging investigators.
so? Who is willing to go to the courtyard?
Me.
Let's see, Ashcan Peter.
Okay.
I guess I could go as well. Have plenty
Okay.
of clues.
Very well.
Do you need
Survival
a
pack.
ranged weapon?
I think I'll stick with my survival pack. It allows me to reroll anyway.
Okay. I will.
And I'm rubbish with. Oh no, actually, observation is pretty good as well.
Gloria then will exchange, and who else is the second one that will go to the courtyard? Yorick? Drake, it's your chance to get out of there.
Very well. Will you be exchanging one item?
Just remember, whoever's out, you're going to be needing to put out the fire and get the child of that gun thingy.
Yeah.
Will you be exchanging an item as you pass?
Someone should take the bandage probably. Right?
Dexter Drake has bandages.
Oh yeah, so what Gloria have? Oh, she has 25 automatic.
What's it?
So who else is going out?
I might need it for the Child of Dagon or not.
Ash can
You can
Pete
take
and
it.
Yorick.
You can take
Okay.
the automatic.
Perhaps the firearm would serve useful in the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashkan, you have any weapon? Well, you have an axe. Oh, actually, you know that you can probably shoot through the windows, right?
You certainly may. You are within range.
So you can help us through the windows with the gun.
Okay. But still, our focus will be the Child of Dagon to get the key.
Yeah, so maybe let's think
Right.
who have a best chance to actually deal with that child, so we don't send them to the pit.
Mm-hmm.
There's an observation. Who's the best in observation? Well, me, Ashkan, and Gloria. Okay, so you have a Gloria there.
So what are you suggesting?
Maybe. Oh no, because he's not coming. I was thinking about giving the diamond the gun and keep him as a support through the window, basically.
Yeah, sure. So where's Diamond? Over there. But I cannot trade with Diamond since he didn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He didn't.
Since he doesn't go there.
Okay.
Well
Anything else?
Stuff.
Are you content with the items you have then?
You keep the bandages for yourself.
He offered you them.
Actually, you know, people who are wounded are outside. I'm fresh, so I'll try to survive.
Maybe can you trade the Duke, the ally?
Yes, I can. If you need it. Can.
You cannot pass
that
Duke
way-
to somebody else, but you can use him
You
to try.
can
Yes.
pass Duke to someone else. He is not unique
Yes.
to the person who holds him.
We all like him.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be useful for
For passing some stuff.
to
He can go
exchange.
through the window, so you can always send something to us.
Mm.
Okay. So.
We're ready.
Very well. Duke is being exchanged to Miss Goldberg, and with that, with a screech of joints that you are already beginning to associate with doom and despair, the dungeon door swings open again.
Damn.
And we spawn a hunting horror.
Ah, great.
A second serpentine beast flies from the dungeon. Both wear shackles around their necks, leading to broken chains.
Oh, there's two of them. Well, one for each.
And they come in pairs.
So it would seem. The unmarked hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with highest health. Of course, these are flying creatures, which means they are unencumbered by impassable borders. The creature opens its mouth, breathes in, tasting the air, catching the scent of prey. The creature slithers a further 3 spaces, but does not attack. The other hunting horror does much the same, 3 spaces. It cannot attack, which means it flies on. And now a horror check. The creature vanishes from sight. You look around anxiously until a heavy drop of greenish-grey fluid drips onto your shoulder. You look up to see the beast prepare for another meal. Suffer 2 horror. Observation +1 negates. This is to negate 2 face-up horror.
Yep.
It seems you are both well adjusted to the horrors. And with that, it is the investigator phase. However, we have been playing for 2 hours now, so we will take a short break. It is currently 1 minute past the hour. We shall reconvene at 10 minutes past the hour. I will see you all in 9 minutes. Take this time to refresh yourself, gather your notes, come to terms with your inevitable mortality, whatever it is you care to do. I will see you all at 10 minutes past.
Okay. See you later.
Tea time.
Welcome back, everyone. I trust you're all well rested and have recollected your thoughts. Before we resume, tell me, investigators, what is your plan currently for rescuing your allies?
We don't need rescuing. The
Are we
horrors
supposed
need
to
rescuing.
rescue? I was hoping to just let them be over there.
Let them
Thank
be.
you very much.
You may have misunderstood the objective of this scenario.
Oh, my bad.
Oh wait, so we are looking for somebody here.
No, I was referring to the investigators in the trial.
Oh no. We need to somebody should save the horrors from us.
Yes, but ultimately, how do you intend to save them and get them out of there?
Kill everything?
Certainly one objective. I don't imagine it would work very well. Perhaps.
What about burning the place down?
Certainly another option. Perhaps as a third alternative, you could perhaps find a local you're able to question about the activities here.
That is some clue, like this guy in a shop was the only one who doesn't want to kill everyone instantly.
It would certainly be one option, although for scientific accuracy, I couldn't tell you what to do, of course. Regardless, it is now the investigative phase. Who would like to go first?
So, among Dexter, myself, Gloria, and Joe Diamond, do you want to? I mean, the guard is will be coming, so maybe we can split and try to get the key from the Child of Dagon, or go up there and interact with, have a chat with the man behind the counter. What do you say?
Remember, to put out fire, you must roll an agility, or you can simply let it burn.
Any opinion from anyone?
I think that if there's a locked door, we should have a look what's inside.
We know that there's some kind of monster in it.
Or some sort of a human?
Maybe.
So for all of you that had some tries to get the key from the Child of Dagon, which ability was it, or
observation or
attribute?
agility? Observation or agility?
Observation. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could go and try that. So first I move out, then I will.
As you move into a space containing fire, please suffer 1 face down damage.
Okay.
You should put down that fire as well, off.
Yeah.
As long as we don't want to go with the plan of burning the place down.
You are wounded, so you may not move twice. You may attempt to extinguish the fire, yes.
Yeah, I will. Can I do that with Duke barking at the fire?
I'm afraid Duke is not able to extinguish fire. You must do this yourself.
Oh, I will do it myself.
In that case, please make an agility roll.
Okay. And I gain 1 clue because of the start of my turn.
Of course, you have successfully extinguished 1 fire. Congratulations.
Yay. So I still have 1 movement left.
Correct.
Well, if I go down here, I guess the guard will keep moving towards here, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'll go on up there.
Very well. I see.
Who's
Zach
next?
has rejoined us. Marvelous. Who would like to go next, please?
I'm gonna attack the hunting horror.
Very well. The red hunting horror attacking. Let's see, with your heavy weapon.
Yes.
Very well. Red hunting horror versus heavy weapon. The beast reaches for you as you advance, and you attempt to bat its limbs aside. A strength roll, please. 1 is a success.
Okay, I
success.
got it.
Indeed. The weapon connects solidly with the appendages, opening the creature for more direct attack. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. You may spend a clue should you wish to do so.
Yes, I'll spend a clue.
Very well. For a total of 4 damage, it lives.
Then I'll attack again.
Very well. Heavy weapon. You search the creature's form for a soft or vulnerable part that could be particularly weak to the crushing weight of your opponent. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success.
I'll take
You bear in
the
mind
action
your
of
lucky
it.
cigarette case and the ability of the axe.
Yes. Yeah, I use the ability of the axe and take 2 horror.
Very well. 2 face down horror. You convert all. Ah, yes, well, making it a 4. You bring your weapon to bear on what appears to be a previous injury. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. It dies.
Hey, nicely done.
Good job.
Next,
I would like to batter the other one with my survival kit.
Very well, a heavy weapon, I believe.
Yes, yes, yes.
And since you are outdoors, you may roll 1 additional
Yep.
die. You dodge behind the creature and swing your weapon where you hope a spine might be. A strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
I will spend the clue.
Very well. You pass, you slam into the back of the creature and it lurches forwards. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result, 4, which, as we previously established, is not enough. As I should have mentioned earlier, the survival pack's additional die ability is viable only once per round, so...
Indeed. But I still can use it as a
you
weapon,
may still
right?
use it.
So I would continue battering it with my survival pack.
Very well. With your regular dice, you search
Yep.
the creature's form for a soft or vulnerable part that could be particularly weak to the crushing weight of your object. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success.
I will spend my clue token.
You pass. You bring your weapon to bear on what appears to be a previous injury. The hunting horror dies.
And I...
Very well done.
Very well.
Yes,
Now,
they should be scared of us.
Mr. Diamond and Mr. Drake.
Okay, Mr. Diamond's trying to put out the fire first.
Very well. An agility roll, please, Mr. Diamond.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, 5.
And fire extinguished. Congratulations.
Nicely done.
Your
Okay.
second action, please.
Okay, he's gonna go 1, 2.
He may move to here, however, he will be apprehended on the following turn, remember.
Oh, okay, he'll move there.
What happens if the guard passes by and you're still in the cell?
Well, I would assume he would simply pass by.
Okay.
Very well, and Mr. Drake.
3. Is there anything? Oh, we still got to get that stupid key. 1. We'll go this way, 2.
Very well. And with that, it is the Mythos phase. The fire is extinguished. After spending the entire night fighting for their lives, each investigator approaches their physical limit. Every investigator suffers 2 damage. Strength negates.
All of that?
Everyone, yes. So, Mr. Yorick has endured. Ms. Goldberg has suffered 1. Seems.
You said 2 face down damage, right?
Face up damage, unfortunately.
Oh.
What is a hard
Aha.
night of work for a graveyard keeper?
Minor injury.
Traumatic, apparently.
I use my
Well,
lucky
actually, no, I
secret
suppose
case.
he's fine, isn't he? You've used
I
your
use my
cigarette
secret
case.
case.
Yes.
So I only get 1.
Okay, well, these are face up, remember.
Yes, I know.
Oh dear. Seems Mr. Drake has broken his leg. However, that won't really bother him until he suffers
Motion.
more damage.
Motion sickness. You cannot spend clues or resolving strength or agility
Diamond did
test.
quite well.
Not that good.
Am I? That could be a problem.
Yeah.
The guard continues their patrol. The locals approach again, intent on taking the investigators in the courthouse back to the cells. Joe Diamond may return to the cells if he wishes to exchange himself. Will either of you be exchanging?
I'm fine here. I'm fine outside. Get some fresh air.
Very well. It seems the investigators are well. Mr. Diamond may return to the cell anyway if he wishes. The judge scowls furiously. You have defiled our land for long enough. Release the ancestors. They shall cleanse you from their land themselves. The judge is getting desperate. It seems unlikely you have much time left. In response to the order, the sinister doors swing open again. Place a hunting deep one. Positively ghoulish. The hunting deep one moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. There are no investigators in that space, which means it is time for a horror check. As you look at the wretched creature, you notice a brief look of pity cross over its features. An influence roll, please. 2 is a success.
Oh no.
Oh my. Well, indeed. And it seems Yorick has succeeded where Ashcan Pete has not. Mr. Yorick, you realise even your enemies have conflicting emotions and suffer no ill effect. Ashcan Pete, on the other hand, scoffs at the creature's passing concern, then berate yourself over your own callousness. Really, Mr. Pete, I really wouldn't worry too much about hurting a deep one's feelings, but you do you, as the children say. You suffer 2 horror and 1 face down damage. So you
Drop
have
2 random items. That's not good.
Shock. Am I? Of course, you only have 2 items. And in addition,
And become focused. That's good.
Well, some good news. There you are. And now, the investigator phase.
So I have a question, Drake. Do you want us both to go up here and maybe investigate here or interact with the person behind the counter, or should we split and try to get to the Child of Dagon?
I'd say you should first go to the guy behind the counter, since you can't go past the deep one anyways.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. But we can wait into the, for example, let's say, if Drake will go up to that person, what's the Drake's influence? Pretty high. It's 4. Maybe Gloria can go here, fire through. That's one movement. Fire through the window. Can I do that?
Yes,
Or is
the
it only one range?
hallway is in range of the distant deep one. Yes.
Oh, so can I or can I not?
You may
You
fire
could.
a ranged weapon from here to here. Yes, as it is within 3 spaces.
Okay, so I can do that, and then with the remaining movement, go back to the cell and wait for the guard to pass by, and then go down to the Child of Dagon. That's only if Dexter will go up here.
Yeah.
Because
Remember, I go 1.
Sounds fair?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Given that
Yeah.
given that Mr. Drake is wounded, another option you have, Gloria, is to push him 1 space as an action.
That's right. Forgot that we can push somebody, each another. So yeah, I will. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can deal with the hunting deep one alone by yourself. So I will push you, Dexter. Yeah, I will.
Well.
So I will go first if you think so, Drake. I will push you 1, and then I will go 1, 2 into the cell and wait for the guard to pass along.
Very well. Next investigator, please.
Here goes this go 1.
Here, I assume. Given that Mr. Drake is wounded, there his turn ends, I'm afraid.
I don't know. I'll go and stop the child, this hunting deep one, and you can pick up your stuff then.
Mhm.
So I go here, and I would like to introduce the face of the deep one to my heavy survival pack.
What a charming meetup.
Introduction.
Attacking the hunting deep one with a heavy weapon, the figure attempts to dart past you when you bring your weapon up in your enemy's way. An observation roll, please, Mr. Yorick.
So I'm not using my extra die.
Success.
I'll keep it for protecting myself.
Wise. A success. Your foe collides with your well-aimed swing. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, plus your test results for a total of 4 damage. It lives. Your second action, please.
And I'm gonna brace myself.
Yes, of course, you've already moved over, so we move on to our next investigator.
Okay, so I'll take my items.
Very well.
And can't do any.
You don't wish to move?
I can't use 2 actions, didn't I?
No, that was 1 trade action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'll move towards the hunting horde.
Very well. And Mr. Diamond.
The deep one walked by, didn't go by.
You have the Shriveling spell, which is a ranged attack. You could assist your colleagues and return to your cells if you wish.
Okay. My lower here. Okay. I'll do that. I'll use the spell.
Very well. You move 1 space into the hall. You attack the hunting deep one with a spell. You begin the incantation as if by instinct, your lips forming the words of their own accord. Even as you give voice to the eldritch sounds, you struggle to understand their meaning. Mr. Diamond, a lore roll, please. 2 is a success. it's certainly not Mr. Diamond's forte, I'm afraid. Oh my. You fail. You realise too late the words serve their own dark purpose, as you serve merely as a vessel to give them life. Please. As I was saying, the spell works exactly as you expect, aside from all the blood. Well, I certainly expected that. The spell's called Shriveling. No additional effect. You may now return to the cells, should you choose. Very well. And with that, it is the Mythos phase once more. Ashcan Pete flinches in response to a distant inhuman snarl. They suffer 2 horror. Law negates.
What negates?
Law.
Law? Okay.
Marvelous.
Okay.
And since you
Lucky
did not
points.
suffer any horror, you have avoided becoming restrained. Congratulations. The guard dutifully continues their patrol. The hunting deep one attacks the investigator in its space with the lowest observation. And it seems we have a tie. So once again, Mr. Yorick and Mr. Ashcan, please draw a card each.
Well, I presume that Ashkan is going to stay where he was, but okay.
Oh, you presumed wrong. Please draw your cards. And it is Ashcan Pete, who has become the hunting deep one's new victim.
Cool, lad.
Your eyes follow the metronomic pace of the hunting deep one's slimy tail, whipping back and forth, back and forth. Suddenly it whips out at you. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. That is a failure. And you have spent a clue. You pass, you narrowly avoid the attack, although you feel some slime on your skin. And now a horror check. A wave of seawater manifests out of nowhere and gushes towards you from behind the hunting deep one. A will check, please. 3 is a success. Mr. Yorick, this does affect you as well.
How much? 2 is a success.
3 is a success.
3.
And it seems as Mr. Yorick has succeeded. You are able to hold your breath until the tide passes. Ashcan Pete, on the other hand, gurgles as they are submerged in strange water, suffering 2 horror. Oh my. You will need at least one of these to say discard, otherwise I'm afraid you are insane.
Yes, I am.
A minor shock. And startled, no effect, discard this card. Well, how very fortunate to have narrowly avoided insanity.
I think Ashcan Pete should get out of here.
Yes, I wouldn't tempt fate a second time, were I you.
What makes you think so?
I don't know, it's just the look on your face, and the eyes flickering a bit, and the bubbling especially.
Yeah.
Investigators, it is your turn once more.
Anyone can swap with Pete, or not?
I'm afraid you do not have the option to exchange at this moment. Typically,
in that case, I would like to reintroduce the heavy pack to the face of that deep one.
Very well. Hunting deep one versus heavy weapon. You and your opponent wrestle for control of your weapon. A strength roll. 2 is a success. A perfect roll. Wonderful. You kick your foe back and bring your weapon down. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test results, bringing it up to a total of 10 damage. The
Nice.
monstrous amphibian endures.
Well, could I do a repeat hit, please?
You certainly may. You slam your weapon into your opponent's gut, then bring it around in a crushing overhand swing. A strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
You will spend the clue.
Wonderful. You pass, you feel your bones crunch beneath the blow. Your bones, just bones, their bones, I imagine. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result.
So that's 4.
And it dies.
Ha ha! Go into the depths of the deep. Pete, you're fine. Don't worry. I
Next,
dealt with it.
investigator, please.
Go and rest at the well.
Yep. Cool. Don't have action
I'm afraid
anymore.
not. You have begun your second move action. And assuming those in the cells wish to simply wait. Oh, I beg your pardon. Joe Diamond may choose to consume their mental stimulant if they want. However, law, as mentioned, is not their forte. They also have painkillers, which could be useful. Mr. Diamond, would you care to use either of these items?
It's a stimulant.
That will enhance your law. Very well. Is that fair? And you now have 1 additional law. Congratulations.
Anyone really needs the automatic? I can try that.
Mr.
I
Diamond,
think I'm doing pretty well.
Mr. Diamond, do you wish to use your second action perhaps on your painkillers? I beg your pardon, is that a yes? Would you like to use your painkillers?
Yeah.
Very well then. You discard 1 damage and 1 horror, returning you to your original health. Endured wonderfully. Next, investigator, please.
Yeah, does anyone really need the automatic? I can trade it with the dog.
I'm fine, thank you.
Anyone else? No?
I got my X, so no.
Okay. So I'll yeah, I guess I'll pass because I can't get out of the cell. Gloria.
Mr. Drake will go here. He'll interact with the thing.
Yeah, you need to move 1 more space, right?
Yes, you may move an additional space to speak with the local.
Oh, I can't. I only can move 1.
No, you've moved 2 spaces. You now have a second action.
Each movement action is 2 spaces.
Yes, you may take 1 movement action. You still have 1 second action you may take, such as speaking to this person. Would you like to speak with the local?
Yeah.
Very well.
With this.
A local holds a sheet of paper to the wall next to the safe, on which he occasionally makes notes. Come on, he hisses to no one in particular. I know what I heard. You have the options of either saying hello, or attacking unarmed, or attacking with a spell.
Say hello.
Say hello. The man spins around, reaches for a weapon, but freezes when he realizes who you are and gives a massive sigh of relief. Oh, it's you. Thank God I'm not too late. The man lifts his head, and you see under the rim of his fisherman's hat, and realize he isn't a local at all. Remove this person token and place Agent Craven. I've been undercover among the mob since they fell on us at the pier, Craven explains. I've been looking around the place for a way to get us all out of here. I wish you'd stayed in your cells, but since you're here, you may as well help. The locals are holding some bizarre alien creature captive. They use it to finish off anyone who survives the trial. I believe our best hope of escaping with all your colleagues is discovering how the locals control this creature and using it to our advantage. Freeing the creature will be the easy part, Craven continues. It's kept in a vault in the southeastern hall of the courthouse. The key is held by some monolithic person who I last saw slumbering in the library. The challenge will be controlling the creature once it's free. Based on what I've heard, I believe the creature's controlled by the use of tools kept in this safe, secured by a 4-digit combination. The only clue to which I will write down for you, is remember the trial of the 15th of January. More visible colour. There you are.
Okay, so it's all in the library probably.
You
need to get to the library.
That underneath the thing there, I'm sure you get
you
the
can
idea.
you can type Shift Enter to make the text in white in 2 lines.
Yes, well, I'm sure you get the idea there. Remember the trial of the 15th of January.
Okay.
It's something I overheard the judge say when he suggested the creature might be necessary. I've tried the American and British variations of the date, and neither is the combination. To complicate matters further, the Innsmouth Gazette says there was no trial on that date. He gestures to a nearby pile of newspapers. I suspect it was a coded phrase. Craven sighs anxiously, seeming frustrated by how the puzzle has vexed him. I'll have to leave this with you. I briefly made contact with headquarters earlier, and a getaway vehicle is en route, but I should coordinate their arrival to ensure they don't get here too early. One more thing, Craven says as he makes to leave. Get this to your friends in the arena. If things are getting out of hand and they need backup, get them to signal me, but only as a last resort. If the locals find out there's another outsider sneaking around, they'll panic, end the trial, and kill us all. Gain the riot whistle. Common item. There you are. And remove this person token. An investigator in the courtyard holding the riot whistle may signal for Craven's help, although the Innsmouth mob will descend upon them moments later. With Craven gone, the desk and the safe behind it are accessible. Placing a search token here. There you are. Right, I understand we have made contact with the person who was to control Joe Diamond initially. Better late than never, I suppose. One moment, I'll see if they still wish to join us.
That's the problem of playing with the whole world and different time zones.
Yes, well, I believe Domac did specify the time zone, but here we go. That's humans for you. Right, meanwhile, who would like to go
humans
next?
Horrible.
I believe that's everyone, in fact. Is that everyone?
No.
Guess.
No, I didn't do anything yet.
No, who is that?
Gloria didn't go.
Yeah,
anything Gloria would like to do, given her circumstances?
Gloria passed, I think.
No, I offered my automatic, but nobody wanted it, so...
Unfortunately, there is no one currently within range, Gloria, so you cannot trade your automatic.
You are right.
Which
Ashcan
means
So-
should
is-
be.
it is now the mythos.
Still, I don't need it. I don't need it. I have X.
Yeah.
But I will interact with the well, because I'm gonna go mad if I don't.
I think that's the same turn when you got there.
Hmm?
I
Is
think
it?
we are still in the same round as you went
Yes,
there.
I don't believe. I believe you already moved this round, Ashcan Pete.
Okay.
I think that's the same round.
Indeed.
Wasn't sure.
Which means it is now the mythos phase. The investigator in an indoor space with the lowest agility hastens their pace and fearfully until they trip. Let's see who has the lowest agility. You have 3 there as well. Seems a tie between Dexter Drake and Gloria Goldberg. Dexter Drake and Gloria Goldberg, please draw a card. I see. It is Dexter Drake who has succumbed, which means that they trip, suffering 2 damage. Strength negates. See, our last investigator has joined us. Better late than never, so they say.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Yes, well, it happens, I suppose. And Dexter Drake has successfully negated their damage. The guard dutifully continues their patrol, discovering no investigator. The locals approach the investigators on trial again to take them back to the cells. Investigators, do you wish to exchange with any of your allies?
Just a suggestion, but maybe somebody wants to swap with Pete. He doesn't look very good.
No, I just heal at the well. I don't have any other option for healing, so I have to stay here. I'm gonna be useless.
Yeah, but it's the horror which is the problem.
Yes, the well can heal horror and damage, I think.
It can.
Right. Am I wrong?
Very well. Ashcan Pete wishes to remain, which means the doors grind open again and another of the foul aquatic beasts emerge. A non-hunting deep one comes from this door. A second of the local monstrosities emerges from the second door, which we shall mark red. The unmarked deep one moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Unfortunately, as an aquatic creature, it swims through the river effortlessly and attacks Ashcan Pete. The creature lashes out with powerful rubbery arms and plunges your face into the brackish water. Suffer 2 face-down damage and 1 horror. Agility plus 1 negates.
Okay, I can. Good. 5.
I
Okay,
remind you, you are
so-
negating 2 face-down damage and 1 face-up horror.
So I use a clue.
Very well, and you
And-
suffer nothing. You may instead wish to use your cigarette case, of course.
Oh yes. Keep forgetting about it.
Not your axe. The red deep one attacks Mr. Yorick. The deep one lashes out with its claws. An agility roll, Mr. Yorick 2 is a success.
Agility. I will use my survival pack for that.
Very well.
Ow!
Oh, you have failed, I'm afraid. The creature's claws rip into you and a bone-deep chill rack to your body. Suffer 2 face-up damage.
Ow. What does we got?
Minor
Become
injury,
mesmerized and flip this card
head
face
trauma.
down.
Oh my.
And minor injury, only a flash wound. No additional flip this card face down. Okay.
Well then. And now a horror check. The Deep One's movements and mannerisms are subtly, terribly human. Both of you suffer 2 face-up horror. Will +1 negates.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Seems your spell of good luck is over, Mr. Yorick.
Yeah.
No!
Well, it might be on the offensive.
Okay, I'm gonna use another clue.
Very well.
Was it face down?
Face up, I'm afraid.
Oh, well. What do we have? Anxiety. Become stressed. Then discard.
Oh my. Your well of clue tokens may serve you ill. Well, or at least help you less. It is now the investigating phase once more.
Wait, why is someone mesmerized?
Due to some ill effect of the Deep One, if I recall.
Yep.
Would you mind only when you end your turn in the same space or area as the Child of Dagon?
If you
need to
end
roll.
an action in the library, you must roll to avoid awakening the Child of Dagon.
Okay. Then 1, 2, 3. No, 2. So maybe instead of going here.
Miss Goldberg, I'm afraid, is wounded, which means you may only make 1
Yeah,
movement action.
that's correct. So I will split my movement. So I will shoot once from here and then move down here.
Very well. Please
I will
select
shoot
your
the-
target.
I will let Ashton Pitt and William Yorick choose.
Help Pete.
Help Pitt. Okay. The left deep one
Very well. The
with
unmarked
the
deep one.
firearm.
Your foe smiles cruelly and flaunts its deadly powers. You strive to maintain your composure in the face of the display. I will check, please. 2 is a success. Oh my.
Okay. I have a very handy card over here. I'll use focused.
Handy indeed.
Nice.
You pass. You calmly raise your weapon and fire dead on. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result for a total of 6 damage.
6.
The beastly aquatic monster survives, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a strong one.
nasty.
Still, it was fair. And I will end my turn here.
Very well. Investigator, please.
I'll attack the deep one and finish it off.
Very well. This is the unmarked deep one, yes?
Yes.
Well, unmarked deep one versus heavy weapon. You whirl your body around, weapon outstretched. As you come around, you release the weapon, launching it towards your enemy. An agility roll, 2 is a success. Marvelous. Your weapon catches the figure in the chest, throwing it to the ground, and you walk over to reclaim your makeshift missile. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result, and dies.
Okay, so with my remaining action, I'll use the well.
Well, you rest at the well. I assume you wish to discard a horror.
Mm-hmm.
Well, please do so. And next investigator, please.
Can I hit the deep one?
You may. The red deep one versus heavy weapon.
Yes.
In a desperate struggle, your opponent knocks your weapon away. Drop the weapon you attacked with. My.
Like, bugger!
You swing wildly with your fists, knees, and forehead. A strength roll, please, +1, and I will allow you to use the bag's ability as well.
Well, I was hoping to keep it for defense, but okay, I'll go for it. So that's going to be 6 dice. How many successes I need? Actually, I'm exchanging everything, so all 3, because I will need to get rid of 1 success anyway.
Spender. A roll of 4 then, which is what the deep one suffers.
No, because I need to remove 1 of them.
Of
because
course, yes,
of stress.
3.
So 3.
Your second action, please, Mr. Yorick.
And I don't have a weapon anymore.
You may attempt to pick up the weapon if you can pass an evade check.
Yes, but that's going to, well, not hit him.
No, you could simply use your fists, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'll do that. I'll go with my fists.
Very well, an unarmed attack. Your enemy attacks are quick and relentless. You focus on evading the strikes and search for an opening to begin your counter-attack. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success.
Okay, that's not so bad. Come on. Not bad.
3.
So 2.
Strike while your foe is off balance. It stumbles and collapses under the weight of your blows. The monster suffers 2 damage. And please flip your mesmerized card.
Yeah, and I get rid of that one as
stressed.
well. So stress is gone, and I'm going to be mesmerized. To Ash, nothing is as it should be. Everything must be rebuilt. You must prepare this world for rebuilding. Place fire in your space, then discard this card.
Thank you very much.
Well, we go back to my first plan. Let's burn this place.
Indeed. There is fire in your space. Next investigator, please.
Okay, 12 damage and go. 1. That's 12 damage. 1, 2.
Very well. And let's see, I believe Joe Diamond has done nothing this turn, but I believe they're our last investigator. Mr. Diamond.
Oh, am I playing Diamond now?
Yes, if that is your character.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were still having him play both. I'd like to move towards the Child of Dagon.
Very well. You may move your character.
I'm not sure I can. It's not moving.
I'm not able to see your cursor. Very well, I'll move your character for you. Where do you wish to move them?
Right next to Gloria.
Very well.
And then what is the exclamation mark next to Gloria? Do we know that yet?
Investigator in an interact token may hide from the patrolling locals.
There's a guard over here that is moving clockwise, and you want to avoid him. So these places allow you to hide from him.
Oh, it's completely frozen now. Is there does Joe Diamond have any items or anything with actions on them? I can't move my screen.
I'm afraid not, no.
Okay. Then
You have riot whistle and you have shivering.
However,
Shiver.
Mr. Diamond is not wounded, so he may proceed into the library if he can avoid waking up the child of Dagon.
would it help Gloria to push her towards the hiding spot?
So it will be 1, 2. I don't. No, it won't help. I think. You know what? It might. Yeah. Please
Okay,
do so.
then I will do that then.
Very well.
Thank you.
I put Joe Diamond pushes Gloria to safety.
Indeed. And with that, unless I'm mistaken, we have reached our next mythos phase. The fire spreads out of control. Let's see, I believe the fire would have spread in this direction. A third bolt of lightning devastates the sky above the courthouse. More prepared this time, each investigator flinches, covering their eyes. Everyone, please make an observation roll. 2 is a success.
Joe Diamond will need someone to roll for him.
Very well. Oh dear, well it seems everyone except for Ashcan Pete has succeeded. Those who pass endure the worst of the glare.
Poor Pete.
I'm afraid they still become dazed.
Ouch.
Ashcan Pete, however, is so devastated. He is dazed and restrained, shambling blindly through the courthouse, I imagine. Or the courtyard, as it were. The guard continues their patrol, just missing Dexter Drake. The Deep One moves towards the nearest investigator and attacks. Mr. Yorick, the Deep One sinks its horrible teeth into your shoulder. A strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
Sorry, what roll?
A strength roll.
Strength roll. Shouldn't he get damaged, or is it at the end of his turn?
Yes, you're correct. The Deep One suffers 1 damage for activating an eternal fire.
Succeed.
You pass. You resist to the pain and break free from its grasp. And now a horror check. Gurgling to itself, the Deep One slinks into the shadows and attempts to hide. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. Ashcan Pete, this affects you as well, of course.
I cannot use the clues, right? Well, then I
not.
failed.
I failed too.
Oh dear. You find a hidden monster far more unnerving than one you can see. You each suffer 2 horror and remain dazed.
I'm mad.
Great.
Hold one moment, please, Mr. Pete. These are face-up horror. There's a chance they will be discarded immediately.
Okay.
Sudden shock. Oh, not that one.
Drop 2 random item.
Indeed.
Great.
And your second horror, please. A minor shock. Oh dear, yes. Ashcan Pete has been rendered insane. Mr. Yorick, what has plagued your mind?
Oh, that was face up.
Face up, yes.
Well, let's see then.
Yorick, did you start your turn already?
No, It's still the horror check.
Okay.
Whenever you end your turn in the space with darkness
sorry.
cover. Well, that should be fine then.
Yes, I
I'm
don't
on
imagine
fire.
there's any immediate concern there. This is the only room with darkness in it.
I become fearless.
Well,
Then Flippy.
good for you. One moment, please, Mr. Yorick. Ashcan Pete, even. You must remember to save my configuration. I have the insanity conditions for large groups separated.
Oh, sorry.
There is your insanity condition. Please hold Shift and Alt over the card to peek at it. Everyone else, do remember your colleague needn't necessarily be on your side anymore, so take everything they say with a grain of salt. Ashcan Pete, do you understand your new win conditions?
I do.
Very well then. With that, it is the investigator phase again.
I was about to ask William Yorick if you want me first. Gloria can move one here, shoot from here the
I
deep one.
beg your pardon. These site tokens lead up to the stairs above the courthouse. You cannot see the courtyard through them.
Boo! Sorry, I had good intentions.
Yes.
Well, I will.
Well, you can always go back to the cells and shoot from there, I guess.
Yeah, but we are trying to get the keys from the Child of Dagon.
I
So,
will
right,
allow
let
you to reconsider your earlier decision to be pushed forwards. I did wonder what your intention was there. Retroactively change that.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, I was just suggesting going first because from the outside, if I could have shot from here, I could have let you like do something else in your turn.
But maybe if Joe Diamond go first and he got the key, then you can still shoot.
Okay.
So is the child who has the key the one in the north or the south?
The one in the south.
Okay. Joe Diamond is going to peek his head into the library and try to take a shot.
You may not shoot at the Child of
No,
Dagon.
we
They
cannot
are not
shoot
an
him.
active monster.
We can only go and try to steal it from it.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Snoring loudly.
These may be bloodthirsty locals, but you are not rude.
I will very quietly walk up and try to steal.
Very well. Since you have ended your movement action, please roll an agility test to avoid awakening the Child of Dagon.
Okay. I will need somebody to roll for me.
Very well. Oh dear. I'm afraid that's a failure.
Oh.
Yes. Which means as before, the Child of Dagon awakens. With a spluttering snarl, the creature wakes up and in the same breath lunges at you. The Child of Dagon drags all investigators in the library back to the cells. Anyone in the hall, corner, and dungeon hall who is not hidden is also captured.
Well. The plan was good.
Yes. And they
Seriously?
suffer 2 damage. Strength negates. Gloria, please roll your strength. I will roll for Joe Diamond.
Wait, wasn't Gloria going to be hiding?
Well, Gloria was not
No, I
hiding,
had no actions left.
Oh,
I
okay.
had no actions left.
Joe Diamond has suffered a minor injury.
How? Was it 2 damage?
Yes, it was, and I'm afraid you are dazed, so 2 damage it is.
Yeah. Okay. Face up or face down?
Face up. Disfigured. Roll 1 fewer for influence test and a muscle tear, which means you roll 1 fewer for strength tests. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
That's unfortunate. The Child of Dagon returns to the library and goes back to sleep. Next, investigator, please.
He's a very deep sleeper.
Indeed.
Gloria can go. She can move once, shoot, and then move down there.
Very well. Attacking the deep one.
With a firearm.
It is so much easier to shoot the enemy from a comfortable distance than to engage in unseemly fisticuffs. An agility roll, please, Gloria. 2 is a success. Oh dear. A failure, in fact.
No. No. It's not. Well, yeah, because I can only use a firearm for one, and I'm dazed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a failure.
Yes. You fail. You are
Yeah.
reminded that sometimes guns miss.
Yeah, and then I will move downwards, and I'm no longer dazed.
Correct. Nor is Joe Diamond. Next investigator, please.
Okay. This is Dexter Trace going to go 1, 2. Is that a hiding space? What's that
Yes,
there?
you may hide behind the bar.
I hide behind the bar.
Very well. Next investigator.
I will try to. Wait, how much damage the deep one have?
The red deep one has suffered 6 damage.
Still like 4 to go, if I could remember. 2 or 4. Oh, to pick up the weapon, that's going to be agility, right?
Correct. You will also suffer damage for the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, agility, no, I beg your pardon. That would be an evade check, which could be anything.
Yes, evade check, yes. I'm gonna attack him then, just with the bare hands.
Gloria, these are improvements. No, I see you made a note.
Yeah, I changed that for -1 to remind me.
Very well. I beg your pardon, Yorick. Did you say you wish to evade?
I'm going to attack.
Attack. Oh. Well then, first of all, please suffer 1 face down damage for the fire. Here we are. And now an unarmed attack.
Oh.
As your foe lunges towards you, you kick at its legs, hoping to knock it to the ground before its attack strikes. Mr. Yorick, an agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Well rolled. You catch its knee, and with an audible crack, your enemy's leg gives way, granting you a brief respite to consider your next move. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result. Then you become focused. And I'm happy to say the deep one expires, collapsing into a flaming pile, we assume.
I will try to no, because the fire spreads anyway. Well, I guess I'll try to put the fire down.
Attempting to extinguish the fire would be an agility check.
Yes. The fire spreads at the end of the turn anyway, right?
Correct.
But then I can put it down before I got damage.
Attempting to extinguish the flame will not cause you damage, no.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna try to extinguish the flames now.
Very well.
It's
An agility roll, please.
Agility, right?
Yes.
I will use 1 clue token.
Yes, I believe you're not dazed anymore. I think that was an earlier turn.
Oh no, I am still dazed, but I'm also focused.
Are you dazed? I thought that was an earlier turn, was it not?
That was previous turn.
No, of course, yes. I've removed them from the people who, yes.
Yes, so I'm still dazed, but I'm also focused from killing the deep one. So I will use focus to get a success and not spending clue tokens. Okay, and I'm getting clue for killing the. Okay.
You have removed 1 fire. Next,
now I'm not dazed anymore.
Please.
Are we still dazed?
You will not be dazed at the end of your turn. So.
I already ended my turn.
I'm sorry, who is that?
Gloria.
Yeah, so Gloria is not dazed anymore.
Dazed.
That's why I discarded the card, yeah.
Well, next investigator, please.
Okay. First I'm gonna pick up my items again.
Very well.
And then I'm gonna use the well again and heal myself.
Very well. Discard 1 damage. You may discard your face-up damage if you wish.
I'll do that because it's extremely annoying.
Excellent.
Okay.
And who is remaining? I think, is that everyone?
Yeah, I think so.
Very well then. Mythos phase. The fire spreads out of control. This time going this way. Despite hatching a convoluted escape plan, you fight the intrusive thoughts of your impending demise. Each investigator suffers 2 horror will negates. I'll roll for Joe Diamond.
Yes, please roll for me.
And 1 more. Joe Diamond has successfully negated. As I see, has Ashcan Pete. Mr. Yorick.
Was that face down or face up?
Face up horror. I see Gloria Goldberg and Dexter Drake have each suffered 1. It's a mild minor shock. And Dexter Drake has suffered regression, discarding 1 improvement which they do not have, so gotten away with that one. Right. The guard dutifully continues their patrol, entering the lounge and not noticing Mr. Drake hiding behind the counter. Investigators, it is your turn.
Dexter, are you planning to use those bandages? Because it would be very useful to Gloria not to die.
Okay, yeah.
Can I exchange that with Duke, my dog? Our dog?
I don't know if he's in range.
Gloria has Duke. She is here. There is no one within range of her, so no.
No, it's at the start of your turn you may perform a trade action as if you are in any space within range.
Yes, and there is nobody within range of Gloria, so you cannot perform a trade action.
Range is up to 3 spaces in line of sight, if I could remember.
Oh,
correct.
Okay, right. Okay, sorry. So I will move 2 spaces here. Oh, the guard is right there.
Wasn't that picture of some sort of a trial as well?
Yes, it's
Yes,
awarded
that's-
someone a clue token.
Oh,
I
it's
think-
just a clue token. I was just thinking about the trial of the 15th of January.
I think that's
Okay,
in the library.
I guess I'll try my luck in the library.
Again.
Very well, please roll for agility.
Yeah, that's the worst thing because I only have 3 agility.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the success? 1 or
2,
2.
I'm afraid.
Hmm.
Which means once again the Child of Dagon has awoken, flung you back into the cell. Please roll strength to avoid taking 2 face up damage.
Imagine being that Child of Dagon. You're just trying to have a nap and somebody non-stop wake you up.
It's limited, I believe.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's why I wrote it down and I forgot.
I'm afraid
So
you
that's a
suffer 2
fail.
face
So
up
that's
damage.
2. I'm almost dead.
Oh dear.
Maybe just stay in your
If the
cell
child is
and just
asleep, does
shoot
that
them.
mean
Gloria
if the
becomes
child is asleep, does that mean you can loot the room without waking them up as long as you don't actually try to steal, pickpocket them?
As long as you don't stop.
if you end an
So
action
do
in
I,
the room. Yes,
do I
Gloria
just
is
discard
now
that
lost in
one?
time and space.
do I draw a new one?
No, you are not on trial, which means you do become lost in time and space. You may not emerge in the courtyard, though.
Oh, right.
Oh, even better.
That was your first action, so you may now return, if you wish.
I have 5 damage, so I'm down to 2. One horror.
Yeah, on the verge of
Uh,
extinction, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I will try to go back.
Very well.
Actually,
Actually,
so he will move 1, 2. I'm wondering if the guard will move 2 spaces or 3.
well, on his previous
think
rotation,
usually-
he did stop in the hall.
So come again, sorry.
In previous turns, he did stop in the hallway rather than continuing directly to the lobby.
Okay. Then yeah, I will try to get back in time and space.
Beg your pardon. City of the Great Race. The denizens of this world are welcoming, but you feel uneasy. An observation roll, please.
Which is, I'm not limited in observation. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm no longer dazed, so I can spend a clue.
Very well. You pass. You realize the creatures would keep you. Suffer 1 face down horror, then place your figure in any space.
So suffer 1 face down horror.
Can
And
go
then
wherever
I
you
will. Yeah, I'll go here so I can.
want. Again, you're going to attempt it?
Yeah.
Poor creature.
You daredevil.
Hard to tell who the villains of
Okay.
this story are. Next, investigator, please.
I think I'm going to pick up my survival pack. So that's 1 action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
Yorick, if you put out your fire, this one.
Yeah,
I'm
I've just
afraid
that's
Mr.
why I asked.
Yorick-
So
Mr.
picking
Yorick
up the
has
survival pack is an action, right?
Yes,
Yes.
you would need 2 actions to move and put out a fire.
Yeah. So
But
I think
can't you put out fire in in a neighboring space?
You cannot, no.
no.
Okay.
I think that's a fire extinguisher. If you have a fire extinguisher,
Yeah,
you
the
can.
fire
Oh, yes.
extinguisher may do that.
And then I am going to, I guess, stay where I am.
Very well.
Wait for the fire to come to me.
Okay, I'll go into the fire and try putting it out.
Very well. Before you move, please roll agility.
Yes.
You may put out 3 fires this turn. I assume you'd like to move into the fire spaces to do so.
Yes.
And the other one?
Hmm?
The other one as well?
I try that.
or-
Yes.
Yes?
Actually, you cannot because you're restrained.
Oh, of course, yes.
Oh.
Which means you cannot move voluntarily.
Okay.
But wait, at the end of your... Oh, yes, because that was from the horror check, right?
No, I
Yeah,
thought
but it
that
was
was
from
from
the-
Bolt of
no,
Lightning,
it was
actually,
from,
which was... Yes, I believe that is over now.
Yes, it is. It is.
So
It was
yes,
from
you
the
may move.
Oh, that
thunder.
was from the deep one, yes. So that should be gone
From
now.
the thunder.
So you're fine,
Thunder.
yes, sorry.
So yes, do you wish to extinguish both flames or just one?
Both.
Yeah. And fire cleared.
Thank you.
Now, next investigator, please. Mr. Diamond, I believe you're our last one.
I would like to move into the. Just to make sure I understand this correctly, if I move into the space in the library with the markers, that will not wake up the child?
It will if you do not pass the agility check.
Oh, okay. So there's no point.
The
Not
best
doing
way
it.
to get there is from the hall, from the lobby. Because then you can go in, steal it, and go out.
However, there are also
Wait,
records of past trials in the library.
I'm not sure I understand why I'd be. I mean, they'll still throw me in the jail if I miss the test, right?
Yeah, but it's when you finish your movement. So if you're in the lobby, that's just one to go in. So you still have one movement. So you haven't finished your movement yet. So you have a chance to pick up whatever and then leg it.
Oh, don't you have to finish your movement before you can do another action?
No.
You do not, no.
Can.
At least not in this scenario.
Or in any scenario.
Oh.
I was pretty sure that was the rule, that you could.
It is not.
break.
I have researched
Huh.
this thoroughly. You may divide your movement turn. Mr. Diamond,
That
what would you
completely
like to do?
changes how I play this game. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't stop learning in this game.
Then I would like to move to the top of the stairs in the lobby. If I can. It looks like I have to break out of the jail cell, though.
You can just walk out.
The door is open.
We already broke the locks.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I will be in the lobby and I'll wait till the end of my turn.
Very well. With that, I believe we've moved on to the next mythos phase. The roaring of the crowd grows angrier still. You don't know how much longer they'll be content to wait for their beasts to kill you, but you had better hurry. Gloria Goldberg is overwhelmed by fear and suffers 2 horror. Strength negates. Once again, your horror has been subtracted. The strength has been subtracted, but I will allow that.
Oh, that's fine. I can reroll. The first die was blank, so actually I suffered 2 horror.
Very noble of you. So you have terrible truths, which means you've gained a clue and a minor shock. So, there you are. The guard dutifully continues their patrol. The locals approach the investigators on trial again to take them back to the cells. Unfortunately, there are no investigators to exchange with, so you must remain. The doors grind open, and yet another deep one emerges. And a 4th. Use the unmarked one, there we are. The unmarked deep one moves 2 spaces to be adjacent to as many investigators as possible. So there it is. And then attacks the, I beg your pardon, the adjacent investigator. So I suppose it would move here then. And attack the adjacent investigator, which is William. A guttural sound escapes the deep one's throat as it gazes at you. Its throat bulges for a moment before it spits a frothing stream of salt water into your eyes. Mr. Yorick suffers 2 face-down damage. Agility negates.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my survival pack for that. To get 4 dice. And I will spend my 2 clockens. 2 clockens, yes, 2 clockens.
Very well. The red deep one moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. There are no investigators in its space. And now, a horror check. You hear a terrible crunching sound and realize a deep one is gnawing on a worm-ridden human arm. Both of you suffers 1 horror with no chance to negate. A face-up horror.
Face-up horror. Okay, now I become righteous. Righteous.
Wonderful. You were doubtful of your moral objectivity before.
And flip this guy's face down.
Yes, you are indeed justified in wanting to live. And Mr. Pete, so what was your horror? Ashcan Pete?
Dendron?
Sorry, forgot to unmute. I got the minor shock.
A minor shock. Wonderful. Then we move on to our next investigator phase.
So that's a new round, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I get my survival pack back.
Well, it's risky. Gloria can try and get the keys, like go try and get them and go back, but I won't be able to hide from the guard. But
This space
You
does
can-
contain
you
a
can
hiding
hide here.
space.
but I won't have enough actions.
Hiding is not an action. Any investigator on an interact token is hidden.
So you just need to be
okay.
there. Yeah, you just hide under the table.
But I say
Okay,
any,
so
most of them do only hide one investigator.
Well, there is that.
Okay. So yeah, I guess Gloria can go one here, try to get the keys, and then come back.
Very well. So for the keys, you quietly gag on the beast's rancid aroma and flinch at every snore, fearing they will awaken. Make either an agility or an observation test.
Observation is not deducted, so 4.
Come on, you can do this.
Wow.
Yes.
At last, your
Finally.
racing heart beats faster as your fingertips graze something cold and metal within the Child of Dagon's pocket. With surgical precision, you produce a key and gently step away. Gain the brass key, unique item. There you are. You do
Thank
not
you.
need to roll to avoid waking the Child of Dagon.
I don't need to roll?
You do not.
No. Oh. Okay. Would you mind, Joe, if I go here and hide over here? Behind the table? I mean, under the table? The key that we just got is probably for the vault
For
over here.
the vault.
Yes, but we have to look what these two things.
Yeah, I think that might be in reference to that trial.
But
But I guess you could, if you stand here. I guess if you stand here, then you can walk in, have a look, and walk out.
I could
Yes.
tell you what the search tokens say if you wish.
Yes, please remind us.
Yes, the leftmost one states, reading a book in an Innsmouth library is always a calculated decision. It will be wise to select your reading material with care. The lower one says there are hundreds of records of past trials. Unless you know what you're looking for, it's unlikely you'll find anything useful. There are 8 potential actions you could take for different dates on the January 1920, including the 15th of January.
Ah!
So we have to get there.
Yeah. So if you go hide behind the door here, ready for the next round.
Right.
Then you can just walk in, pick up what you need, and get out.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Diamond, I believe your colleagues are suggesting you move here and end your turn.
Yep.
Very well. And who would like to go next, please?
I'll go up here and look at this question mark and search this thing here.
Well, a few vegetables are just about in edible condition. An injured investigator in need of nourishment could force themselves to endure a mouthful or two. As an action, you may eat vegetables.
I'll do it.
Doing it, alright. You cringe as you force yourself to swallow the mildly rotten mouthfuls. Even after running for your life all night and your stomach aching for food, it's difficult to force yourself to keep eating. Discard 2 damage and gain 1 face down horror. And by the power of eating your vegetables, your leg is no longer broken.
Always eat your vegetables.
Yes.
This is, of course, an entirely accurate simulation, everyone.
Of course. Question is, what sort of vegetable was that?
Well, we'll never know.
Carrot, I
They've been
think.
consumed now.
I was thinking maybe Brussels.
I'm not
Brussels
sure I'd
sprouts.
risk travelling to
I
Innsmouth to
think-
find out.
I think it was a carrot.
Mm.
Could be. Mr. Drake, you have one movement space remaining.
There's probably some kind of milk product, you know, does your body good.
It's not really vegetable though.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe there was milk extra, or cheese at least.
You know, I'm partial to elder tree roots myself, although I don't believe they're accessible on Earth.
Mhm.
Mr. Drake, you may move one additional space.
Okay, let's see here. Here.
Very well, I believe that just leaves our good friends staring down their aquatic
Yes.
hosts.
Well then, Pete, I think we need to go and fight again.
Okay, I have makes now, so
Very well. Ashcan Pete charges valiantly towards his aggressors. Which one would you like to attack?
this one.
The unmarked deep one. With a heavy weapon, I assume.
Yes.
You pivot and drive your hip into your opponent. An agility check, please. 2 is a success.
Wait a moment. Where's my X?
Oh, correct, yes. So an unarmed
Oh.
attack then.
It was, no. It was under my cigarettes.
Oh.
Couldn't see it.
Yes,
as
we
I
have
said,
really big cigarettes.
An agility
It's
roll,
a very
please.
big cigarette.
2 is a success.
What?
Agility.
Agility.
Okay.
Pretty good. You're focused, so you could.
I
You
focus.
do have your cigarette
focus.
case.
No, yeah. I use some cigarettes.
Very well, you knock your opponent prone
You don't
and
want to
bring
use-
your weapon up for a final blow. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result for a total
So
of
4.
4 damage. I'm sorry to say it lives.
I'll go in and try to finish it off.
Very well, Mr. Yorick, who also possesses a heavy weapon.
Indeed. And he's going to
Swing
swing
at a
it.
powerful downward angle, attempting to crush your foe. A strength roll, please. 2 is a success.
Come on. 3.
Wonderful. You pass. The weight of your weapon drives into the figure with an audible crack. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result and
5.
dies.
Yay. Teamwork.
Yes.
Makes the dream work. That is your last action, which I believe takes us to the Mythos phase.
Uh-oh.
You can hear some of the locals storming down the stairs, aiming to swarm the courthouse to tear you all apart with their bare hands. Any escape plan you have hatched will have to be implemented now. An investigator in an indoor space with the lowest agility, strains themselves as they sprint through the halls. Let's see. So who indoors has the lowest agility? 3, 3, 5. So it is a tie between Dexter and Gloria. Dexter and Gloria, please select from these cards. And Gloria suffers 2 face-up damage. Strength negates.
It's only 1.
Oh,
Am I?
at least it's a success.
1 face-up damage.
Face up damage. Damn it.
Poor Gloria.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Suffer
Oh,
1 additional face down damage.
That's
Yes,
not
of
good.
course, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is
we
face
lost
down.
Gloria.
So yes, Gloria has unfortunately been eliminated.
No.
We have a problem. We gotta be fast now.
Indeed. Well, I can't set that.
Maybe it's time to actually whistle that whistle then, if they are already running for us anyway.
Yes. So
Or was it just a flavor text that they actually don't?
the guard dutifully continues their patrol. Who does have the whistle, incidentally? It's in the possession of Mr. Diamond right now, so not much help, I'm afraid.
Do I drop the items?
No, I believe you keep them.
No.
Even if I'm dead? Because I have the brass key.
Yeah, I
Yes,
guess we
that's
can
not-
pick it up from your dead body.
Yeah, no, I suppose,
Okay.
yes, you may put your items down in that case. Does that make sense? Somewhat doubtful you have time to implement this plan, but best of luck. The red deep one attacks whomever in its space has suffered the least damage. Mr. Ashcan Pete. The hybrid sweeps your legs with a sudden kick. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Ashcan Pete.
Yeah.
An agility roll, please. Success.
Got it?
You shove the hybrid off balance. You may move the monster 1 space.
No, I don't think so.
Very well. And
So
now
we
a horror
have to
check.
kill it anyway.
The deep one opens its mouth and a choking, wet song emerges from its throat. It's no human sound, but you feel the creature's yearning, fear, and hate in every note. Suffer 2 horror. The will negates.
Will.
Get it?
Oh, I could use the righteous to change 1.
Well, you will lose it
And-
if you don't convert it, so
And I will use a clue token to do the other one.
very well. And with that, it is the investigating phase. I will now mark.
Okay, we have to finish now, I think. Because one of us died.
Yes, so Gloria has been eliminated, which means you have until the end of the following investigator phase.
Okay,
I
so
would
we have...
suggest Joe Diamond, go and find the information in that library then.
Yes, this one.
No, it was the
Yeah.
other one. But,
This one,
yeah.
in fact.
Joe Diamond's gonna go in and try to look at that information.
Very well. I assume you'd like to read the entry for the 15th of January 1920.
Yes, but don't I have to roll agility to keep from waking up the
No, you
child?
have not ended
No,
your
you
movement
didn't
space.
finish
No, because you haven't finished the movement yet.
According to
Oh.
Agent Craven, there had been no trial on this date. Perhaps if you read it carefully, you'll learn why this record exists. We had 7 outsiders put on trial today. It took 5 deep ones and 6 zombies to put them all down. It took 3 hours. We should have broken their legs first. It took way too long. You don't know if this information will help you escape, but if you do, it'll certainly help you get justice for the diabolical townsfolk's previous victims. Gain the incriminating evidence unique item.
Can you repeat those numbers?
And it was 7 survivals, 6 deep ones, and 2 zombies?
It seems unlikely you'll get any more use out of the records. Remove this search token. Yes, I will read it again now. We had 7 outsiders to put on trial today. It took 5 deep ones and 6 zombies to put them all down. It took 3 hours. Should have broken their legs first. It took way too long.
So 7, 5,
6,
6,
3.
3. Okay. That's the code for... Okay, Drake, you have to do it.
Okay, so where do I go? 1,
No, Drake, you have to go to the safe.
Your colleagues are advising you to go
The
here
safe
to
is
go
there
to
on the
safe.
top. And Joe Diamond, don't you want to walk out from the library?
Yes, of course, Mr. Diamond. I assume you'd like to leave now.
1, 2. Okay, I'm investigating this.
Right, investigating the wall safe. The safe is very well made. It will be impossible to access without the correct combination. First number, please.
7563.
Well, 7, 5, 6, 3. With a thud, the heavy latch slides across and the safe swings open. Inside, you find another of the strange emblems held by the local who attacked you in your hotel room earlier in the night. Gain the cult sigil, unique item. There you are.
Okay, now we somehow have to.
Hold on one moment. Of more interest are the tools Craven spoke of. You'll also gain the following items: the Elder Sign Pendant, the Elder Ward, and the Disc of Itzana. These items cannot be discarded.
Okay, now we gotta get to the safe with these things.
These items are henceforth referred to as wards. Remove this search token. Apparently these tools will help control whatever creature lurks in the vault.
Okay.
Next investigator, please.
Is it us now? I guess we just smack that deep one because we have nothing else to do. I'll go first. Smack the deep one.
Very well, smack the deep one. As you swing at your foe, the sweat on your palms threatens to loose the weapon from your grasp. A strength roll, please. 1 is a success.
I will change that one to the
Very well.
thingy.
You manage to keep hold long enough to connect with your enemy. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage.
Oh, that was a waste then.
So it would seem.
I will do it again.
Very well. Attack. Heavy weapon. You swing your weapon back and forth, but your foe continues to elude you. Your muscles strain and you begin to tire as you struggle to continue your onslaught. A will roll, please. 2 is a success.
Indeed.
Marvelous. The foe slows before you do. The monster suffers damage equal to your weapon's damage. It has now suffered 4 damage altogether.
Up to you, Pete.
Yes, I'm gonna attack him too. And
Well,
yeah, heavy weapon.
heavy weapon. In a desperate struggle, your opponent knocks your weapon away. Drop the weapon you attacked with.
Wow.
You swing wildly with your fists, knees, and forehead. A strength roll +1.
So annoying.
Slippery creatures, these deep ones.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
A nice one.
Do you wish to spend your clue token?
What do I have to roll?
The monster will suffer damage equal to your result.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna.
Very well,
discard it
single
then.
damage. Your second action, please.
I'm gonna attack again.
An unarmed attack.
Yes.
As your foe lunges towards you, kick at its legs, hoping to knock it to the ground before its attack connects. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. Wonderful. You catch its knee, and with an audible crack, your enemy's leg gives way, granting you a brief respite to consider your next move. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result, and you become focused. Which
Okay,
you already
2
are.
and another. But I'm already focused. So.
And with that, it is the Mythos phase once more. The locals swarm the courthouse, stamping you with their boots, tearing your skin from your body with ungroomed hands. As hard as you fought, your efforts were ultimately for nothing. No one will ever know of this town's sinister dealings. That is, until the next group of outsiders blunders into Innsmouth and shares your gruesome fate. The investigation is not complete. Well,
but we have been winning. They cheating.
Yes, people of Innsmouth rarely play fair, I'm afraid. Was
Well,
a
is
valiant effort, investigators. You certainly figured out your objective, but were sadly too late to implement it.
Well, it took us a while.
Yes.
Was that triggered by Gloria dying, or was that going to happen anyway?
That happened anyway, I'm afraid.
I think it was basically on a timer.
Natural conclusion.
Don't blame it on me.
The locals simply got bored of watching you
I'm
kill their
blaming it on
people
you.
and ancestors.
Well, what I just wasn't sure. So this scenario doesn't have that rule where if somebody dies, we only have 1 round left to finish the scenario?
It does, but coincidentally, you ran out of time.
Yeah, we just ran out of time anyway.
Okay. Okay.
So you died at the end.
We
had
a
a
dire
hole,
outcome, I'm
we had
afraid. However, all
really
too
bad-
common for Innsmouth, as we all do know. Well, I hope you all at least enjoyed yourself and found this experience enlightening.
Yeah,
I really like
We
it.
did.
I will certainly update the archives and perhaps run another scenario next week to learn the fate of another group of poor Innsmouth tourists. Until then, I will bid you adieu, investigators. Farewell and do take care. Well, there you have it. Far too common, I'm afraid. Certainly, if there's one thing we can learn from this dire affair, it's do not visit Innsmouth. It's really just not worth it. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this as well. Learned some things, made some notes, added to the massive expanse that is the archives. If you had, head over to the Dome Acolyte Mansions of Madness Lost Chronicles Discord and sign up for our next game. I'll hopefully run another one next week, as I often do with our new scenarios, and of course there will be another one next month in the new year if my calendar is up to date. I'm not sure, time is stranger. Anyway, until then, I will also say goodbye to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.